Madness Podcast! The best of the underground! Make madness your ritual!
What's happening, folks? How's it going? It's Friday, and thank you for joining us. Do me a favor, check out Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 3500 Minnehaha Avenue, Minneapolis. If you're looking to get some tattoo work, give them a call, 612-353-4755. Lowbrow Saints at gmail.com. Hours Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 7. Sunday, Monday, they's closed. But go down there, help them out, check them out. Check out some Shred Den. We're at the Shred Den studios, anyways. We're right down the hallway here. Shred Den, check them out Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. 9100 85th Avenue North, Suite 100, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Give them a call, 763-350-2191, www.theshredden.net. And Jordan, don't you work there?
Sometimes.
Don't you? What do you do there? Do you fix things?
Yeah.
Rob's attitude?
Unfixable.
Unfixable. Not enough duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you tried?
Several times.
Well, we came in on what was that? The Sentinels? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Did you write that song?
No, that was a Will
Will
song.
song, yep.
Will wrote the music for it?
Yep.
Did you write the lyrics for it?
No.
You didn't.
Just did.
What'd you do for it at all?
I wrote the guitar harmonies.
Oh, there you go. You did a great
Great.
job, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So this is a fairly new album, correct?
Yep. Just dropped.
Just dropped. When did you guys let this fly?
January 31st.
So it is little over a month or a
Week.
little under a month. So and you guys are releasing your CD release shows tomorrow, correct? Let
Yep.
me make sure
Yeah.
I have that somewhere. I know I have it somewhere. There we go. At Zhora Darling. I haven't been there. Where's that located? Is that
So over by Certix.
Northeast, Minneapolis.
gotcha?
So
It's
right
in
across.
Minnesota.
Very good, Jordan. Very good. That's very good. You fucking bastard. He likes to do stuff like that all the time. You guys know
Sneaky
Jordan.
bastard.
That's just how Jordan is.
Yep.
Why don't you go around the table, tell me who you are and what you do in the band? How about that? I know who you are, but maybe people who are watching this are like, who the fuck are these guys?
Neil Pruitt. I play bass.
Hi, Neil.
How you doing, Greg?
Good.
Hey,
good.
Jordan.
I am Aaron Lonick. I play Z drums.
Z
Hey,
drums.
guys.
Z
Thanks for having us on.
Z drums.
Z drums.
Thank you,
Those
sir.
tubs.
Hi, I am Aaron Frodo Caulfield.
Hi.
I play guitar.
Nice. Very nice. Now I noticed since the last time that this band has been on here, you guys got a new singer. How long has Liz been with you guys?
Just under 2 years.
Yep.
This
See,
month.
that's
2
how
years.
long.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
That's how long it's been. It's been a
Crazy.
long time since you guys have been on here.
Yep.
For this particular project.
Yeah, 2019, I think, when we were releasing Day Dallas was the last time we were on your podcast, and that was in Blaine. So
Yeah. Yeah.
to give you a perspective, Mel came on with us too. So yeah,
That was a while.
whole new
ago.
ball game.
A while ago, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And like, how did that transition happen? Like, did Mel just decide to move to a different project, or did she?
Well, I mean, she got a new job.
Yeah.
So that was like the first instance. She has a cool PR job with whatever parent company owns Valley Fair.
Oh, right.
Six Flags.
So
Yep.
yeah, whatever the
Sure.
thing is.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that started taking up more of her time. She loves it, which is cool. And then she also got the opportunity to join the Minnesota Opera.
Oh, wow.
So she was telling
That's
me
huge.
about that, and it's like, balancing her time, where we're like, do it, dude. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's huge.
and
Yeah, I went and saw her actually perform.
She smashed it. I bet.
I mean, the whole production's like, it's in a different language. It was in French, that one particularly.
Yeah.
But yeah, she, to append to what Frodo was saying, like she, over the years, like especially when we got back together, because we kind of took a brief hiatus from like 2014 to 2017, 16 or 17. And then we came back. That was pre-Frodo and Neil, but
it's like I wasn't in the band.
yeah, there's a long legacy of Flag of Stars. We're actually at year 12 right now. So, or excuse me.
So
2012.
have you been there from the very beginning?
Yep,
Oh.
it was Will, Mel, and I. We started it, and then we had a bassist, Chris. I can't remember his last name for the life of me, unfortunately, but he literally was in for like a month or two, and then Tim joined, and it had been us four for like, I don't know, 4 years, and then we kind of broke up because Mel was going through some stuff, but
Yeah.
we eventually got back together, and we added a second guitarist. He's not with us anymore, Nick Mulbrayton, good dude of mine. Started the band, whatever. Tim moved out. Tim, our bassist at the time, Tim Morton, good old Timmy Morton from Dying, Euphoria. He moved out to LA back in 2019, I believe. Yes, I'd gotten married and stuff, so we just felt like, okay, that's not gonna work, like with shows and such. So we held some tryouts, and this guy over here, he's been in the band since 2020. So we've played shows together, but he's been dying to like get on an album and show the fucking world what's up with Plague of Stars with him on bass. And I'll tell you what, he absolutely was like a glove. Like, he and I played
Yeah,
we were
he
leading
is.
together. So like this guy is, cream of the crop,
For sure.
as they say. Cheers.
Salute.
So you guys are all dirty, incestual whores, like Will said too, as well.
Yeah.
Right? You guys all have multiple bands in the Twin Cities. You guys want to shout out any of those at the moment?
Mansion.
Yeah.
Well, and I forgot to add, Frodo joined in 2019, just prior to Neil too, so he's been involved quite a bit since that. But to bring us to where we are currently with our lineup, sans Mel. But real quick, just to tie that story up. So Mel had been saying, like, for the last, 4 or 5 years, like, oh, I should quit. I'm getting older, blah, blah, blah. There's more attractive girls and, that kind of thing. So she'd always, like, kind of tease it to us. But I think deep down she really wanted to step aside.
Yeah.
Because she just had a son and blah, blah, blah. So it didn't come as a shock to us, really.
Right.
But it still did. Like, it was like, oh, shit. Like, this was her idea, this band,
Yeah.
right? So, and Mel is a very unique vocalist, right? She brings the operatic, classically trained type vocals to metal. We're doing pretty heavy fucking shit. So, her style, like, is not easily mimicked. So, I don't know how you guys felt when it became a reality. I was like, well, okay,
I was ready to be done.
Yeah,
Like altogether, you thought the project was just going to be packed up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, for like a couple weeks, we kind of toyed around with the idea of like just starting something else,
Sure.
but then we didn't.
Right, so which brings us to current with Liz. All right, so she's in a tribute band for Nightwish called Imaginarum.
Okay.
Also, Will's drummer, Brett Barrett, is in Caustic Abyss with Will. Again, here we go. Everybody passing it around.
Yeah.
So my tribute band for Korn, Cobb, we played a show together.
Yeah.
January 2023. I'd known Liz for a while. She had a band called Portentum at the same rehearsal space, and talked to her.
Portraits of War.
Yeah, Portraits of
Oh
War,
yeah,
too.
Portraits of
She
War.
played keys in Portraits, though. Did she just did some screaming in that?
Yeah, back.
Did she
vocals and-
do much singing in that one?
I'm not
I
sure.
fucking love that band. They were
So.
great.
Yeah, they
had a
were
good time.
absolutely. What funny thing? 2 of the dudes from Portraits of War are in my Cobb tribute.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's fun. See, again, like
Yeah.
it never ends.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking each other. But
It's the entire
Music.
Minneapolis music scene.
it really is. That's how we spawn too. We keep everybody really
Right.
close.
Right. Well, that's good though for community's sakes. You know what I mean? It's not just like a handful of bands that are all in, a handful of bands. It's like a lot of people spread it out, spreading it out to different styles of stuff, especially when it comes to, playing covers and doing that type of stuff too.
Yeah.
How's that jam to do? That's
Dude,
gotta be fun.
Dude, you should we got a show in July at Route 47. That's like the closest one we have in the next like 6 months, but you should come check it out, dude. Like, it's no joke. I mean, Tim Gibson,
Yeah.
Uzi, he's like, he is Jonathan Davis.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal, like how he just nails it. Like, and then
I've always thought that about that dude.
yeah,
You
I know.
Nuts.
Just appearance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a good guy. But yeah, so
Thank you, Brian.
we saw Liz, or I saw, or no, you were there that night.
There.
You were there too. So we both saw Liz, and I was just like, oh my God.
Was
That
it
was
the
the first time I heard her.
Scooby Doo double take and shit.
It was straight up like Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo Doo. But yeah, so I was like, oh my God. And then this is before we had the talk with Mel. Like, I don't know, literally like 2 weeks before she brought it up.
Yeah.
I was like, the thought kind of started to stir because she'd been talking about it more, about leaving and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't go there, don't go there. But the thought was already there just by seeing her sing and just like how she acted on stage. I'm like, oh my God, she fucking rules.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit. And she's cool as shit. So 2 weeks later, like literally, Mel was like, hey guys, we got to have a talk. And we just knew. We're like, okay, this is it. She's pulling the plug. So she did. And then I think a week later, I was like, hey, I think I have an idea. Because, you know, as we had talked, like, what are we going to do after this? Is it over? Because it's not, you just can't, like, we wanted a female singer, right?
Sure.
Like, we wanted to continue that.
Absolutely.
But it's like, you can't just get a female singer that kind of knows metal because it might not work.
Yeah.
Just because, you know. But, you know, we decided to reach out to Liz. Everybody agreed. Like, this is our only shot. Like, literally, it was like catching lightning in a bottle.
Right.
Like, it's her or nothing. Like, then we're done. So, turns out that it was like Cinderella finding that slipper.
Ooh,
like, it just...
She was interested.
Woo!
She was like, immediate. I'm like, she's not going to respond. Like, I text her, and like 2 minutes later, yep, I'm in. Let's go. I'm like, whoa, all right. And here we are to this day. What's funny is we didn't expect this by any means, but she kind of, you know, Mel did a lot of the promotion and like social media stuff and like some of the planning and things, keep us fools in line type shit.
Right.
She literally just stepped in and just took it. And we're just like, how did this happen? Like lightning in a bottle situation. Otherwise, like, I don't know what we'd be doing.
Yeah. Now, you guys did like a transition show as well, too, right? Where she came up and did some songs. And was this like, was she in the process of learning these songs, or was Mel transitioning on the way out? Was Liz more at practice at the time, or were they both kind of?
Yeah, I mean, we were practicing more with Liz at that time than Mel. Because with Mel's work schedule and stuff and the opera schedule, like, she just couldn't dedicate time to actual, like, band practice regularly for it. So we were practicing with Liz a lot. She was learning all the old material, and we were actively working on this album that we just put out. So we were working on new songs, and essentially, like, I reached out to Mel, like a text her or whatever. I'm like, hey, what songs do you absolutely want to do by yourself for this show? And so she gave me a list. I asked Liz, what songs do you want to do? So she gave me
all the ones.
And then there was some overlap. So it's like, well, you guys want to do them together? I think they made that decision themselves.
Right.
But,
which is even cooler.
Right. It's like, cool. So we did a mix of old stuff and new stuff, and Liz and Mel sang some stuff together, which was really cool.
How did the writing process with this album go? Did it sounds like things fell together really quickly.
Well, yeah. So we had we started writing like our first song, "Extinction," the title track off of this album.
Right.
Like we had that finished in early 2022.
Oh, okay.
And then we actually had 3 songs written with Mel recorded vocals.
Oh, okay.
We only released "Extinction" as Corporatocracy as a single with Mel on vocals.
Sure.
The other 2 we recorded and tracked. We were going to release them as singles, and then she quit.
Yeah.
So we're just like, okay, like, do we want? We just didn't know, because like when somebody that pivotal in your group leaves, like
it could change it completely.
Right.
Turn it upside down. Yeah.
Right. So, even with Liz accepting the role, like it was just like, are we gonna start from scratch, or are we gonna keep these songs? So that discussion happened. We kept the 3 songs, re-recorded them with Liz on vocals. We kept some of the Mel stuff because it was so awesome. It was those 3 songs that she did were her like best of the she's everything, melodies, blah blah blah, vocals, lyrics. So we had Liz rewrite those lyrically. One we did save, I believe it was Corporatocracy.
Yep.
Those are Mel's lyrics, but Liz sings them. And then she rewrote "Extinction" and False Reality. It was called "Counterfeit Visions" with Mel. But beyond that, like the writing process,
It got heavier.
Yeah. So when we started writing in 2022, like as part of our like brainstorming before we actually wrote a single note of it, Mel threw out the idea that she wanted to do an opera about religious psychosis. So with that in mind, I started writing like darker riffs and stuff. Like some of the older stuff with Plague of Stars is more poppy.
Okay.
Like the song Glass Gaze. It's like a goth pop rock anthem or whatever. But, you know, for whatever reason, I just kind of latched on to the whole idea of like religious psychosis or whatever, and just started writing darker, heavier stuff. And, you know, from what Will was, we have a little Dropbox folder that we put song ideas into.
Right.
And Will was dropping stuff in there too, and his stuff was noticeably darker and heavier too. So I was like, cool, this is gonna be an interesting album.
Did you have a conversation with Will about was he affected by that particular thing as well? I wonder if it's like a synergy, or if like
I'm not sure.
Like
we never really talked about it
because that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like if you know, obviously there's going to be a shift when someone leaves. You know, a pivotal person leaves a group, but I mean that could be a whole thing too. You know, like fuck, what are we gonna?
Right.
We're gonna get heavier. You know,
and that's what happened.
Yeah.
You know, oddly enough, like it got heavier, it got darker. There's a song that's 10+ minutes long. So
all the
slightly more
ideas were already
proggy.
there when Mel was still in the band.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But
Yeah,
we had to finesse them. And
all of them they were all in the folder at the end of 2022. And we
I don't know
slowly
if
started pulling them out.
Aquilaire might.
It was.
It was. Okay, all right.
It was titled Sabbath.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't 10 minutes at that point.
Yeah.
But it was there in its infancy.
So yeah, the way, you know, and then bringing Neil on, like writing this new material with us, you know, it really brought that. We have a lot of different dynamic to these particular songs. I think more so than the past. Like, you know, we have a lot of elements in our shit, but like these guys like brought the dynamics that weren't there previously. I think you guys are 50-50 on this album, you and Will. I believe something like it's 50-50 about
riff-wise.
Yeah, or song-wise.
Okay.
Like these guys bring like full-on songs mapped out, and I'm like, damn, like that's a rare thing. I think usually when they're this, you know, like with Shift, the song Shift, his song, like it's very dynamic. It starts quiet and then gets loud, then drops, and like there's a lot of peaks and valleys and such.
Sure.
Will's Sabbathy song, whatever it's called, Aquilaire. It's just a
ride.
journey, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've never written like that. So, yeah, it's I think we're peak right now. I won't say peak, but we're just climbing up the mountain, I think. It's our silver
awesome.
side up, I think.
It is our silver side up.
But Liz coming on, she just sounds pissed off too, and she's definitely got that edge. She wants it heavy.
Yeah.
She's angry. She's gonna beat me up one of these days. I keep her on my mouth.
How has your transition been, Neil, coming into the band and you know, learning the stuff and branching out and, you know, creating more?
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
It's just great music to play. And,
right.
You know, I've always enjoyed playing with Aaron and Will, and
right.
Never got a chance to play with Frodo yet, and that was great. It's different than what I'm used to playing,
right.
but it's definitely welcome too. I'm
Yeah.
to really spread out my riffs a little bit better, and you know, kind of slow it down a little. And
yeah, you're usually faster, heavier, harder. I mean, pretty much everybody at this table has been in a band that's heavy as shit. You know what I mean? And in this project, it would to me seem like you could branch out a whole lot more. You know?
Yeah, I could really dig in and
just
really get into the low end and.
And your melodic playing too, you know, like that's a huge thing. You know, we kind of had that vibe in Legion too when we hit those parts, but here it's more exemplified. You know, there's way more melody. There's way more chance for you to play melodically and instead of, you know, just filling that frequency. Like it's you, but less crazy heavy.
Yeah.
And more melodic.
I'm still digging in though.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, I know. I watch you every night, Mom. That's right. Let's go.
He plays some of the
What do you think I'm looking at?
Like, what do you mean? Just watching it wise? Or
just like watching
it's a
him
spectacle.
play and just like
always.
seeing like because he's not following me and Will most of the time.
Right.
Like, as far as Plague of Stars go, he's like doing his own thing, but it's like stuff that doesn't quite compute. Like, because I moonlight as a fake bass player for Echoes.
Right.
So, like, I'm familiar with the territory, but like, just the stuff that you do on your bass is just like, what the hell?
It's a spectacle. Like, watch it. Nobody has his style. Nobody has his technique. Like,
I love it. I feel like we've talked
the most
about
unique
this
bassist in the cities. Like,
I agree with that.
Without question.
Just dabbling at, trying to learn any type of bass, or any kind of instrument, when it comes to strings, the notes are in different spots.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel like he's one of the guys that doesn't stay in one spot to play it. Like, yeah, I can play it up here, but I can fucking hit it here and, bend and get there. And you know what I mean? He's one of the only guys I've ever seen with a fucking ball gag in a fucking string.
Dude, I was at that show, yes.
Well, multiple times I'd seen him do that shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just crazy shit, man. There's so many times where it doesn't look like he's even playing what you guys are playing. He's just fucking, Yeah. Just throwing down. So
but he makes it fit.
Totally get it.
Like, he just makes it fit. Like, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Like, it's just, you watch what he's doing. You're like, there's insane amount of notes happening, but it still fits. It doesn't.
Well, that's the reason I
crazy.
really wanted to get into this project, is to be able to have that kind of space to just play in the pocket and
allows you to grab that funk feel.
Yeah.
You can really explore that pocket. That's key.
You know,
we've explored it.
That's
Getting those
we
pockets.
blew that pocket right up.
Will's got an incredible ear.
Oh, dude.
Mr. Anderson here on the chat says, "Is it too early to ask them? Is there any touring plans in the future after dropping the album?"
We want to get on the road. We don't have anything set yet.
Well, that's the cue for everybody out there who's
get at us.
Different spaces to fucking hit them up, book some shows, flop some shows, come to Minneapolis, play some shit here, and set them up with some cool shit. Know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know it. Love it. Let's go.
So let me see here. We did say you guys are playing tomorrow night at Zhora Darling. Let me see here. The doors are at 6 p.m. or something. It's a pretty early show.
Yeah, early show.
And unfortunately, right, Jordan, you guys are also doing a thing tomorrow.
Rumor has it,
yeah. So that's two beautiful shows you should try to make tomorrow if that's the case. But make sure the Zhora Darling at 6 p.m. and check these folks out. I wish Liz could have made it. Is she playing or something tonight? She got some stuff going on.
Yeah, she's
Septic Flesh.
What's that?
She's at the Septic Flesh.
Oh,
show.
okay, yeah. Supporting Will's Jammy Jam. Dude, that album they created is so fucking good. It's just popped up in my playlist a bunch in the last couple weeks since we've had them on here and whatnot.
Caustic?
So good.
Dude, it's their best one.
It's solid.
It's so good.
Yeah. And it's just funny to hear them say, like, yeah, we were talking about, having a thing and moving into the next project, but it's like any of these bands, man. You guys, it seems like it's like Voltron. You know what I'm saying? You move one piece and then something else comes in, and
right.
It explains itself when you guys sit here and you know what I mean. You're like, it's just move from here to here and there to there, and it feels more streamlined. And here we go, and fucking let's rip. You know?
It's all that chemistry.
Yeah, it's really all that chemistry, and it's awesome to know, like, hey, Apothic, fuck yeah, like they're our homies, and
right.
like. Echoes of the Fallen, like we're all just homies doing the thing for each other, like lifting the music scene up, and there's nothing fucking better, honestly. This is it right here,
What projects are you? Do you have any other projects other than the Plague right now?
Plague and Echoes of the Fallen.
Right. Yep. Okay. And what stuff are you doing, Aaron?
I am in Cobb, which was the Korn tribute band.
Yep.
Plague of Stars. Isilic, Greg and I were on your podcast, I believe, last year.
Yep, the one over in Blaine.
Yep, the one. Yep.
Much smaller room.
Yeah, it was
closet.
Well, compared to this, but it was still a good room. But so we're currently writing, and we're going to be recording soon. Silva. Yeah. That's with Taylor Haggison, and we just announced our bassist Andy Topif, who was in Aetheric. Fernando is filling it. Fernando from Graveslave is filling in for us at our show next weekend. At Zhora Darling. And then...
How long has this club been around? It hasn't been too long, has it?
Yeah, but about a year.
Yeah, say like a little over a year. I know Beastface did something there last year. They asked us to play it, but it didn't work out for us to jump on. But I've seen a few shows like in the last year there. So
how big is the place?
Oh, you've been there, Jordan?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
We
haven't.
I mean, I've seen shows announced and like flyers for shows. Like
they've been
within
popping
the
up
last
quite a bit.
Year
lately.
and a half or so.
It's is it a Thai restaurant? Like it's like a 2-part thing, right? So there's like either a Thai restaurant or something of that nature in front, and then in the back is the venue. So
I think it's like capacity something like 250, 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that.
From what I've heard, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treat the bands well. It's good.
And it's right by a parking ramp.
There you go.
Parking is important.
Very important.
It is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Is it like $36 to park in the? Well, it's Northeast, so it's not too bad, right?
No, yeah, Northeast isn't too bad.
Huh.
It kind of has a Lee's feel to it, you know.
Awesome.
So
I love that old school
dude,
feel, man.
I was just watching video footage from shows today.
Oh, I was going to say, without cutting you off there, I'm sorry. The Culture of, which I haven't seen in a long fucking time, is playing this show as well. They've been kind of like non-existent for a couple of years, right? They just kind of got back together doing some stuff. And then Beastface is with you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then who's the other band with you guys?
Collapsia.
Okay.
They're from St. Peter, I think.
Okay.
But they played with Echoes of the Fallen a few times last year. And I was talking to their guitar player, Sawyer. And, you know, he's a fan of Plague Stars. So, you know, he's like, hey, whenever we could play a show with you guys, let me know. And so this came up. I'm like,
perfect time.
it's them, yeah.
That's the way to network right there, man. That is networking 101 right there.
They're from St. Peter?
Yeah.
Nice.
Down by you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know that there's metal down there.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Rub elbows with them. Bring them, keep bringing them up here, man. You know what I've been really digging lately, man, is the fact that there's been so much cross-pollination between Sioux Falls and here, and Biggs is doing well here, and then the what is it, the aquarium in Fargo has been doing a ton of shit, and I've been seeing a whole bunch more stuff going through there. Like Summer looks crazy in that spot, and then the Zimmergy guy, Dustin Dubuque, is that his name? I can't remember that dude who's booking. I'm going to get him on the podcast. He's going to be coming on in the next month or two.
Yeah, they've been announcing a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, there's a big metal fest there coming.
Yeah, they do an annual thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know Rob has played it a couple times and gone out to some shows.
That's over in Phenomena, huh?
Yeah.
Phenomena.
Yeah.
Is that where we're playing in March?
Yes.
What's that?
We're actually playing there in a couple,
That is a
couple weeks
couple
already.
weeks.
Jesus.
Another place that I've heard is just killer.
Yeah.
They treat the bands excellent.
Definitely.
Well, yeah, I think that is the key, right? Is good sound and getting treated well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's all we need.
hell yeah, man.
Tasty beer.
That too.
You know what I love about everybody at this table too is you guys are not those guys that put your kid up and make everybody play in front of you. You guys are real musicians who appreciate and respect each other and are like, we'll let you have all the space. I love that about you guys. Like each one of you dudes, I know every band that you guys have been in are like, fuck is this guy doing over here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't remember who booked the show at Lee's, but I had to tell a band coming in, a bigger band, you know, at Lee's. You remember how tight that was of a stage, you know what I mean? It's nice and wide, but this way, deep was fucking horrible, right?
When they had that riser in front of it, it was like perfect.
Yeah.
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 It was a great
That
stage.
extra like 4 or 5 feet would have just been like tits there,
Yeah.
but they ended up not using it. Which, I mean, the stage was still sweet.
Yeah.
Was that November's Doom? That show?
No, it was,
Oh, okay.
those guys were cool. It was
Yeah.
it was some other band. I can't remember if it was one of my shows or if it was one of the Root of All Evil shows.
Okay.
But the guy came in and they put their stuff up, and I was like, and all the other bands like walked up to me like, hey, dude, they're not moving their shit. And I'm like, that's not gonna happen. Like I think you and I had that conversation. I walked
Yeah,
over
we
there.
were like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, you guys can strike your shit. Cabs are one thing because you can butt them
Yeah.
up, but
Yeah.
like, drums, like, come on.
I remember the guy
Read the room.
really pissed when I went up there and was like, get that out of there. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, we're the headline band. I was like, yeah, not here. Not like that. You got to let these guys jam, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you get all the space, bro, but no. I like at the Skyway how the depth of the stage, you can pull that shit back.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah. They got the curtain and the stage behind the curtain.
Yeah,
you
that's
can stage
awesome.
everything. Yeah, yep.
Pre-set up everything and then just move it onto the stage. That's sweet.
Amsterdam's pretty sweet like that too.
Yep.
Nice open floor plan for you to get in and out. Have you guys played? Have you played the Turf Club?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I've never played the Turf Club. In all the years I've played music, I've never played that place. Have you played it?
No, but I've worked a few shows.
I enjoy that stage. It sounds really good.
Feels like a runway to me, man. You know,
Well, you played First Ave main room, right? Yeah, that's one. God, that is the bucket list number one.
Yeah,
for me, because we've done the Turf, we've done Fine Line, pretty much all the good clubs, I think.
I don't know about
not
you.
Main Stage.
Main stage probably the
just once
best stage sound we've ever had.
Really nice.
Mega played there.
Like it was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Stupid. Like no matter where we walked on stage, I'm like I can hear everything.
Didn't have to ask for any adjustments.
Yeah. Like monitors in front, side fills. Like
who was doing monitors for you? Was it Craig? That dude's fucking so good at that shit. I wanted to punch Glenn Danzig when he fucking screamed at Craig. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Craig's a fucking sweetheart. How dare you? I just want
Randy Jackson was doing.
What, get knocked out again? You son of
house too.
He's got a glass jaw.
Trying to remember who was mixing that show. Hawkins, I think, was doing the front of house.
Yeah, Randy Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins was doing front of house. I think Andy Crow was doing some stuff too.
Was that the memorial show in November? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you played for BFD too, didn't you?
No, Head Charge.
Or Head Charge, sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was just stupid good. How like this. We've never sounded this good. I can hear
it makes a difference.
Everything. Man. Like it's so clear too. Like there's some, you can get a good wedge mix at certain venues, but as soon as you move away, it's things kind of fall out, or like if you get too much going on, it kind of gets muddy. But there, it was just crystal clear.
Right. Stupid. Now that was the EV sound system. Now they've changed it since, right? It's like a different.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're using now. They just switched like last year.
It sounded okay at the Pantera show, but I was more concerned about Phil's fucking voice.
Pantera tribute show.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Did they have to transpose down like to accommodate his vocals?
I think I read something that I think they're like a half step down, or
okay.
I think a couple songs maybe they went a whole step, but I think I read that for the most part it's just a half step down.
Okay.
I heard a couple of people talking about that Scour.
Scour, yeah.
Has
black metal.
Anybody heard it? Have you?
It's fucking
like Phil's vocals these days. Because he can't. I mean, he doesn't nearly have the range that he used to. But like, when he does the really like deep, like guttural stuff,
right?
It works. And for what Scour is doing, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, yeah. I want to shout these guys. I don't have my phone. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But there's a cat that hit me up from the Ukraine 2 mornings ago at like 4 a.m. Hey, how's it going? And I'm like, I wake up at 5:30. I'm like, great. How can I help you at 5 a.m. in the morning? And he's like, just want to send you my album. Like, sent me a video and sent me his album, and I right away. I'm not a huge keyboard guy, so it's fucking solid black metal stuff. It's good. Their video was fantastic, and it looked and sounded great. But I had to send it to him, say like, you lost me at keyboard. That was it, man. I'm like, I apologize, man. It's just not my jam. The keyboards have never been my real, my favorite of favorites. But, it's tough to try to tell a guy from, he's just trying to network and get his shit out there, And I, was kind to him, like, it sounds great. Production's excellent, just not my jam. Best of luck, you know what I mean? And he friended me in that, it's like, thank you for your opinion.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, I had to.
No,
you woke me up, motherfucker. You know
right?
What I mean?
Four in the morning.
I gave it to him. You know what I mean? I gave him.
You're getting a text daily.
What are we gonna do? We've got to. there's got to be some sort of opinion or like, what do you think about this right here? And then
every day it's going to be a different cat playing keyboards.
That would be fucking great. Sounds about right.
I have enough of them, so
yeah. You really do.
You really do.
2 weeks, not the same cat.
Yeah. That's true, isn't it? That's sick, dude. That'd be
Jordan
something.
The cat lady.
Yeah, Jordan the cat lady. Let's listen to another tune. We've got Vane is next here, up on the dealie. Hey, you guys know anything about that one? Did you write any of this? Did you write the lyrics for that or anything?
This is
it's a Frodo song. Yep.
Tell me about it.
I was listening to a lot of In Flames.
Yeah.
And
In Flames or Old In Flames?
Old In Flames.
Ooh,
Reroute to Remain.
The good stuff.
And
That's like
the working
old
title for
mid
this
In
was,
Flames.
Right. the working title for the song was In Flames.
Nice.
Well,
what did you say earlier? You were saying one of the other songs was called Sabbath or something. Is it?
Yeah.
That is so common with band cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, this sounds like whatever, and then you end up calling it that until the fucking 0 hour. What are we naming this? Oh, I don't know. Let me look at the lyrics.
Like that's kind of what like me and Will we'll pick a band basically and like mimic them. So like this one's like In Flames. Our song Shift, the original title involved Swallow the Sun.
Yeah.
And Sabbath.
What did we call it though?
Swallow
I'm not
the roads.
Yeah, like we essentially just mimic bands that we like in that sense and like put our own spin on it and make it ours.
I think that's what everybody does.
Yeah, and then it kind of just sticks too, because it's like we don't call Acalare, we call it Sabbath still. Like it's always just gonna be Sabbath forever. Like,
I mean, I've been doing my best to call the songs by their actual name. But
Courier's first show, we had to put on the set list. We put the real name, like what it was actually called, and then in like parentheses if you wanted.
so people would know.
And we had some wacky ass names for shit, so I'm like, don't show anyone these things.
This one's called I Got a Semi.
We had one
Short.
called Hot Dog Hair, and I'm just like, ooh, what does that even mean?
Hot dog hair. That's fucking
I'm just like,
fantastic.
Sounds gross.
I'm like, what? You guys are way too high.
doesn't even shape your hot dogs.
No such thing.
Shave your-
George.
Just shitty Medusa.
Got a pube on that dog, man. That Oscar Myers got pubes. Shit. That Grizzy.
That could be a
Need to wax that
Cybothel
shit.
too.
Lizzie hair.
Yes, that's the Mothra. Absolutely.
I love some Mothra
Shit.
names.
All right, let's
Hot
listen
dog hair.
let's listen to the vein, and we'll be right back. Shitty Medusa? Is that what was that? hot dog hair?
Chocolate starfish.
It sounds like heavy metal Rush. I like it, says Craig Rosensbeard.
All right.
So that's good, right? Craig Rosensbeard likes what you're doing.
Geddy Lee over here. What's up? Tickle baby. Let's go.
I think you're far more sexy than Geddy Lee, I have to say.
Oh,
I've seen him in a G-string. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't in a ball gag, dude. It was top notch. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like. Did you have furry slippers on too? Wasn't it like you had like it was some sort of floppy eared slippers or some shit that you had on? I can't remember exactly what it was.
Oh, what was it? Eeyore. I had Eeyore slippers.
Yep, that was it. That was it.
Yeah, I think it was Eeyore.
Where did that come? Where did the idea come from? Was it a dare? Was it a fucking? Were you like, this is what I'm gonna wear?
Yeah, it was usually a mix of both. Sometimes it was like
that was the six days, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, sometimes it was like, hey, you know, I got this big giant roll of cellophane wrap and girlfriend's G-strings.
Got wrapped up.
What did the chicks think about that? Like when you
it wasn't pretty, man. They weren't impressed.
That's fucking great, dude. This is the funny thing about it is nobody really realizes how fucking much balls it takes to do something like that, dude. And you were always in it. Like it didn't even seem like you even cared what you had. Like you were just fucking throwing it down, dude. It was just
a task at hand.
Yeah, throw it down with a fucking ball gag in his mouth, man. Gotta love that shit.
The rest was for endorphin rush.
Oh yeah. So do you guys have more shows than just this one, or is this the focus tomorrow, and then moving on beyond that point, or do you have a few things booked for the plague stuff?
We have the one in March. Where was it at?
Zymergy. Zymergy Brewing in Menominee, Wisconsin. Menominee, actually. Menominee. Man, I don't know, Greg. Have you ever played Mr. Heavies?
Yes, back in the day. Oh,
back in the day.
It's like right by Stout, too, right? That's
yes,
in Menominee,
downtown.
Right?
Yeah, it's downtown. There's a dance club like up, like because Mr. Heavies is down in the basement, and we're talking like 7-foot ceilings. Like there's many holes punched in the ceiling. Yeah. It was just a rad vibe, but a lot of the Twin Cities bands from our scene played there a lot.
Way back.
When it was, when Justin Beneke actually was running sound there. That's how we got to know Justin, and he got integrated into our scene. Now he's doing big, concert tours.
He was just, doing some of the production at the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah,
what?
that
Did
too.
He really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Company and shit is just like blown up.
He's one of the coolest cats fucking ever.
We went to Red Rocks. He was involved in that too. He did I think his company did like all the CO2 stuff.
Yeah, he was doing the CO2 for Gojira.
Yeah. Now he's doing the fucking Super Bowl and shit.
Damn, that's fucking awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to find this March thing and see if I can pop this up.
It's
on the
March 8th, Saturday, March 8th. It's some kind of benefit
Death
show.
to domestic violence.
Yes.
I can't see.
Hear it.
Shotgun facelift featuring Bloodletter, Plague Stars, and Soul Ribbon.
What are you finding that on, buddy?
My band chat.
You son of a bitch.
Well, he's not there. How are we supposed to know?
Who's headlining that show?
Based on this flyer, I think Shotgun Facelift, if that is a band.
Yeah, I believe so.
Awesome band name.
It is.
Right?
Shotgun Facelift.
Kind of know what to expect.
Have you?
I think it's all
quartet.
Yeah. Yep.
There it is.
Acapella.
Let me see here if I can. Let me see. I think I got it here. Yeah. All right. We're all in the deal here. This is the one that they were talking about. This is on Saturday, March 8th. Doors are at 7 p.m. $20 is the show. 18 plus. Raffles and prizes and proceeds go to Bridge to Hope Shotgun Facelift featuring Bloodletter, Plague of Stars, Soul Ribbon at Zymergy, a brewing company. I don't know, man.
Zymergy.
Yeah, in Menominee, Wisconsin. Menominee. And this is like a battered women's thing. Is that the deal? That's pretty awesome that you guys are
Anti-battered women, just to specify.
Anti-battered women. Sorry,
right.
like Bring your battered woman to the show.
The shotgun facelift
That's horrible.
is for the abusers.
They are for or against?
The facelift is for the abusers.
Oh.
With a shotgun.
Right, gotcha. That's, abusers, come to the show. Get abused.
Right? We got a pit just for you. Let's go.
Step right up.
We brought ninjas.
Yeah.
We brought them.
Shitty Medusa learned karate.
Nice. Snapping at people. So Will kind of threw something at us at the last time he was here with the Caustic podcast, but I kind of want to throw a little bit of a twist to it. What are a couple bands that people wouldn't expect you to listen to? Like, you think people would be shocked that you listen to those bands, or like,
I was hoping
question your, because I
had a bone to pick with that conversation.
Okay, good. Why
you fucking ripping on butt rock?
What butt rock? What do you mean?
You guys were ripping on Nickelback, okay? With aggression will not stand.
Very good reason.
Wow,
They're terrible.
I thought he was going to stay.
They found the formula that sells records, and they have stuck with it.
And if you've ever seen their Sad But True cover live, holy shit. It's fucking heavy. It's really good.
Silver Side Up is a great fucking album. Period.
No.
All right, who started this? Wait, what? How did that, I missed a whole bunch. I looked at the Brian loves Nickelback, preparative revoke metal cards. Somebody said, Craig said something about coming in. You could absolutely come in and show me your guns, dude. I would definitely love to do that. Craig teaches hunter education with his pop for the DNR.
Oh, nice.
So it's educational.
Yes. Let's go.
So bands that people would second guess that we listen to?
Well, yeah. Like you think that they would be shocked if they found out you were listening to those bands. I mean, most musicians don't give a shit.
Like you and I have talked about this before, Jordan. Like, I don't believe in guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
Like, to me, good tunes is good tunes. If I like it, I don't give a shit what anybody else
thinks. Right.
Like,
but that's why I said, what do you like name some stuff that you think people would be.
I don't know. I don't think
a Nickelback is a pretty. That's right. When it comes to underground guys,
I do
shocking.
love Kesha.
I listen to DeAntwoord a lot.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of questionable.
It's taboo for. But did you watch their documentary that they just did? And it kind of seemed like they were a little bit more apologetic than they have been. Like they've hey, and getting caught up in that type of stardom where you go from a YouTube person. I mean, the dude they've been in the rap game for a long time, if you know their history, right? Yep. But then they skyrocket with the N-word and then have a bunch of problems calling people bad names. And I think he kind of raped some chick or something, like flew her to somewhere. And anyway, I love their music too. I hate it, but
just got to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, which is difficult for everybody in the world.
It's becoming more and more so. There's all kinds of shit coming out these days that you're just like, wow, okay.
Well, dude, we're talking about this, and we are talking about old rock and roll. If you think about every band that we grew up on, you know what I mean? If you think of classic rock in general, you think, and even Chuck Berry and you know what I mean? Like, there was some nasty shit going on. There were songs that, she's only 16, that type of weird shit where it's like, you look back and go, yeah, everything that I listened to, everybody was a scumbag. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, times were different, but does that really excuse the nastiness?
Led Zeppelin and the Mud Shark.
Yeah, that is a perfect example right there where,
Kiss, Christine 16.
Yeah. That was one that came up the other day. Yeah.
Winger.
And Domino.
Yeah. I know there's a Sam Cooke or two songs where he talks like she's, young and.
My Sharona. Ooh, that's a bad one. That's a tough one.
I don't know the whole. Tell the story behind that one.
Well, there's one specific lyric. Well, it's pretty sexual in nature, but he talks about liking the younger kind.
Yeah.
Like he specifically says the younger kind. He's got a thing for the younger kind. So it's like, oh, okay. So at first I thought this was like two consensual adults, but no, this is.
Well, what's the Dean Martin Christmas tune? Like, it's Baby It's Cold Outside, and like everybody was losing their shit over that. And then you go back and listen to some of that, because I'm a fan of Dean Martin, but I went back and I'm like, there's some other creepy shit on there. I mean, it was totally different time. You know what I mean?
But rapey.
Super rapey.
Yeah.
You know? That's Elvis and Priscilla. Somebody's just said, what does it say? Frodo listens to Bowling for Soup.
What?
I mean, they have a couple
pretty
good
bomb.
songs. Like, I grew up in the early 2000s. Like, of course I've listened.
You said Kesha earlier, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My music tastes are all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I love Kesha. I've recently, it's been a few
I'll
years.
cash you outside.
Gone to churches.
How about that?
Oh, that's my jam.
Anything like
That's
synth
mine.
pop, synthwave, like I love. Like, no shame.
I say, like, Frodo probably has the most broad and unique taste in music that I've ever seen at it.
You haven't met me, Jordan. Just kidding.
You listen to trash.
Okay. It is. I mean, there's total fucking garbage, not gonna lie.
This is how bands
Like,
break up.
I
was-
listen to trash on purpose.
My dad was in a hair metal band, during my entire youth, or they played hair metal covers at least. So that was my upbringing. Leopard, Poison, Crew, all of it. Rat. That's what I grew up on.
That's one of my favorite
it'll
hair bands of all time.
Which one?
Rat.
Oh, dude, hands down.
Out of
Warren
the
DeMartini,
Cellar is fucking a great album all the way through.
all bangers.
Oh, love it.
All bangers.
Absolutely.
Poison for me.
Really?
Yeah, I still love it.
I still love it.
I've
Dude,
seen him.
Flesh and Blood,
I've
dude?
seen him
Come
live
on.
like fucking. I've seen him live like 3 times, 4 times, or some shit. Bon
Ooh.
Jovi.
Yep.
Dude, White Snake a bunch of times. Wow. Yeah, I worked for Trickster. Enough's Enough. Pretty Boy Floyd. God, dude, there's a fucking ton of old hair bands that I worked for back in the day, or seen Extreme and. You know,
Yeah.
shit, Mr. Big, fucking.
Oh
that
my
shit.
God, Mr. Big.
I worked 2 Mr. Big shows. Billy Sheehan's the fucking shit.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Just him and Paul Gilbert. What's funny though with hair metal is like they write, songs that are cheese,
Yeah,
but ultimately they're amazing fucking musicians.
Yeah.
Like Red Beach, Warren DeMartini,
Yeah.
Paul Gilbert, dude from Dokken, George Lynch.
yeah.
Forget it. Vito Bratta. Yes. Oh my God, they're all virtuosos, but
We're just fucking nerd
Sorry.
down on old fucking
Sorry.
80s fucking hair bands.
so that's one of my guilty pleasures. Like what
Hair
Fro
bands?
was saying, yeah, hair bands, all of them, and
But that's like home for you, right? Because you grew up with it. Yeah.
right. But it's a metal guy that listens to
Guilty pleasures is a stupid term.
Yes.
Just like
it
the
is.
word
Swift.
damn
I
it.
wear like a little Taylor Swift.
T
Yeah.
Swift. She's got good shit. There's pop songs out there that we all like. You just can't help it. Like we have that tendency. So
Well, I mean, a lot of the pop stars out there too have like the best producers in the world that have like, this is how you write a modern hit,
Right.
and like it's like a formula for you. Like, so it's like it's going to be an earworm. It's going to be catchy and groovy, and like
Have you guys ever
it's
seen
designed that way.
the
Yep.
documentary Muscle Shoals? Have you guys ever seen that? It's like a backing band. It's 2 different studios in Muscle Shoals. It's like southern, somewhere down south of Mississippi, maybe. There's right on the water. Like the Rolling Stones recorded there, Aretha Franklin, like all these old fucking soul people. But the band, they were called the Swampers. I don't know if you guys had ever heard. Leonard Skinner talks about Muscle Shoals has the Swampers, and he's like, anyway. It's a really, really good documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's really, really good. But they talk about that vibe in this area and how people flew in to try to get that vibe. And they talk about how the one main studio has this one producer there, engineer guy, and he builds this band, and then the band decides to go with another record label, and they move across town and open their own studio. But the people that they've worked with, and they go back and forth between that producer who did great things and did a ton of fucking hits, that once you watch the show, you'll see all the people that they're connected with, you know what I mean? And the shit that they wrote for the Stones down there. And Keith Richards talked about, the vibe in that area. And it says they have, resonates off the water and like has all this lore behind it and all this cool shit. And it's really, really fucking cool. It's a good documentary if you guys get a chance.
What's it on, Greg?
I actually downloaded it, so I
think it's on Prime.
I
have heard of it.
Hell yeah, Prime's got the best shit.
Checked it out.
It's really good. It's well worth a watch. You know what I mean? But they talk about one of the Allman brothers, Dwayne Allman, was part of that whole group of people. Like they talk about that studio thing where some of the stuff that you hear that these guys, they're all white dudes, right? And they play with a lot of old black musicians, soul musicians and stuff. But when you listen to that shit and you start hearing the names, you're like, holy fuck, these dudes wrote that shit right there. It's kind of like basically in that same area, Booker T and the MGs, when they were the house band for a big studio like that, and went on to do Saturday Night Live and all that other shit. But yeah, there's a bunch of documentaries, but that one's really, really good if you guys get a chance to check it out.
Hell yeah. I'm going to check that out tonight.
Yeah, some Muscle Shoals.
Muscle Shoals.
Yep, good shit.
Yeah.
So what, you guys are going to tear this shit up tomorrow? Are you guys pumped up? Will's going to be
super
dead.
pumped.
Dude, yeah. Well, tough shit. He's going to have to suck it up.
Yeah.
But we're stoked. I jammed before I came here, just running through some of the songs. It's been a long time coming.
Practice sounded good the other day.
Yeah.
Now you guys, you were talking about this, having ideas and putting them in a Dropbox and everybody kind of working off those ideas or having songs fully structured and ready to go. I have never worked like this ever in my entire life with music, and I find it so fucking crazy that everybody is so advanced now, man. I mean, Jordan was talking about the setup that these guys have with all the in-ear shit, you know what I mean? And that they could roll their shit right into a place and hand them a fucking snake and go, there you go. We're good. Just give us this and we're good to go up here. That shit is so dope. And I've never, how is it transitioned, and do you take ideas from this band or other bands and use them all in your repertoire?
Well, yeah, it's like, so we start with like, so what, I shouldn't have said like fully finished or put that perception out. They're not fully like finished.
Right.
Like the basic
structure.
The structure's there, and it's actually very well structured, so we don't need to really monkey with most of it structurally. But we get in, and once we start jamming it, organically, then, different ideas start to pop up. We may like add a stop or, modify something.
Do you guys record in your studio when you guys practice and stuff? Or is it just pieces?
Well, when we get to a certain point, then we do a pre-pro. Okay. Yeah, we have a patch bay and everything right in our room, so like everything's just right to Will's Pro Tools rig. And
so you guys practice at his space then?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I got 2 of them there.
Nice.
So that's right.
Drums everywhere.
God damn, fucking tubs everywhere.
How many
tubs?
How many sets do you have? How many drum sets do you have?
Currently 3. I want another one for each band that plays live. Yeah.
Okay, Rob Carlson.
I know. It's silly, The thing between guitar and drums is like, we could have 3 sets and have just as many guitars as you guys have, just because pieces of a set, right? But you know what you
do is you just take a piece from each one and build it up.
Yeah.
Franken kit.
Yeah.
Send this to Mike Kieran. Like, hey, what do you think of this? Tom's over here, there. Like, God damn it!
Yeah.
Turn that thing down.
What about you, Frodes? How do you feel about the whole? Using that technology to transfer.
I think it's great.
Awesome ideas.
With going back to the Omega days, like we wrote organically in the room, everybody at the same time. And that album took 4 years to finish.
Right.
Whereas, like with Plague of Stars, like me and Will will write stuff independently.
Right.
Record the idea. Like I'll do it at home. He does it either at home or in his studio, wherever he's playing at the time, and throw it in the Dropbox. And then, like his stuff, I'll pull it up at home, listen to it a bunch, see kind of like what ticks in my brain, like whether I need to like do a harmony here or if I need to do a lead over here or whatever. And, if I'm feeling saucy, I'll record something over the top of it and send it back like, do you hate this? Sometimes he says yes. Sometimes he says it's great. So
what program do you use at home? Reaper. Something easy, something fast.
Something easy and something free.
Did you did you donate at all?
No.
You bastard.
I just keep waiting for the button to
Dude,
highlight to still.
Yeah, that's it too, man. I feel so bad too. I did donate on one of my other computers, but I have it on every computer that I own. You know what I mean?
I've been evaluating Reaper for 20 years.
those poor fucking guys who created that shit. Right. Come on, man, throw them a fucking bone here, man.
I will.
I've used it for 20 years or some shit, or however long it's been around. But how about you, fella?
Yeah, I'm adjusting. I'm not the biggest tech person, so I have a hard time getting things figured out. But as long as I'm able to make a song play on my phone, I can figure it out, you know. And I just gotta. But trying the in-ear stuff that we've been doing the last few weeks, I don't know about that. But
the in-ear stuff, is
in-ear monitors,
system.
And
are you guys trying that whole thing out too?
Yeah, well, I guess we got it in 2022, but we just set it up.
Yeah, it's basically just the transmitter and the 4, wireless packs, receivers. We don't have an X32 or an interface or a splitter to monitor our own sound. So it's gonna still be up to the sound guy to set our levels, but we can at least have in-ear monitors, and we don't have to rely on wedges.
Even if you're not actually controlling it yourself, I think for me it was game changing.
Yeah,
when I started doing it playing drums, just because so many times monitors would cut out, or it's just not loud enough.
It's not loud enough,
over the drums and cymbals, and I'm like, I can't hear where the hell we are.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck it, just getting a little.
I do like
2-channel board.
Separation.
What's that, buddy?
I do like hearing the separation of everything.
Yeah,
that is pretty.
But it's been tough getting used to, huh?
Oh yeah,
really.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been playing, open for so many years. I can imagine adjusting to it. How did you adjust to yours when you started doing it?
When I started doing it playing drums, it was pretty easy. It's just why have I not done this sooner?
Right.
Just because the nature of drums being so loud.
Right.
It's like being able to actually hear what I need to hear. Doing it while playing bass, not sitting behind a kit, was definitely a little bit of an adjustment. Just because I wasn't used to it being so, isolated. And then we also run a click track to all of us too. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I have my click pretty low. It's just for reference. If I do get lost, I can at least come back in on time. But now we've been doing that for 2 years, and being able to actually isolate. This is exactly what I want to hear. I don't need any extra stuff. I don't need whatever. And then also being able, to hear my bass too. That was one of the things I've always struggled with, is because of the low frequencies and everything. It just gets drowned out so easily.
Yeah.
That I have it cranked up so I can hear exactly what I'm playing.
Right. How about you, Frodes? How was your adjustment to this whole?
Echoes started using in-ears a year or so ago. Justin Sherman bought an entire rig to set up in-ears, mixer, all the cables and everything.
Sure.
So I'm used to it from that.
Oh,
so
okay.
We literally just started using ours on Plague Stars 2 weeks ago.
Damn.
So I'm just cool. Turn it on.
Adjustment for you, Aaron? Did you say?
I've been doing this since my first band, Black Umbrella Cult, back in.
Damn, dude, really?
17. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we had. It was an industrial band, right? So we had keyboard. We actually used a keyboard to program parts. We didn't use. There was no laptops or digital audio workstations. Everything was done on a sampler, a physical sampler or a Roland XP80.
So you just had memory,
it was routed.
all the samples on memory into the deal, and program them all to where you needed them on the pads and shit.
Yep, everything was MIDI time code, whatever.
Yeah,
is crazy. Nowadays it's easier. It's still difficult, but I've been doing it since pretty much then, playing to a click, and that. Nothing new to me, and Cobb has a full integrated in-ear system that we do with X32 and MIDI.
Now let me ask you, how does that work now with you guys being drummers and click tracks? Do you got to go out and map each area where you're?
I think it depends on if there's like fast tempo changes in songs. Like when I was in Ghost Hook, Lucas and I sat down and like we tweaked out like the time and like tempo changes and stuff, and like I actually had like a click track. It would have like a 12 beat start, and then that's when the song would kick in.
Right.
When Omega was playing, Sean was the only one that had the click, and each song was the same tempo all the way through. So he would just set a metronome and just set that for the whole thing. I guess it really depends on
the player.
Yeah, so then it would, depending on the song too, like if your song has tempo changes, like, so you got to play to a track, right? So you have to know exactly where counts change, because if you're off by one beat, it's going to, it's
fuck
static.
Everything up. Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
which Plague of Stars has plenty of that. I play to a track. Specifically, these guys don't hear it yet. At some point, we can maybe get that integrated, but so I start the tracks, and I hear the click track and the backing track, and have to be on time with that in order for everything to fucking line up. Otherwise, if it's off, and it's happened.
Right.
Kind of forces you to like just become a tighter player, not just the click in general, but when you have it mapped out with like tempo changes and stuff, like it really forces you to be on point.
Right.
Yep.
Like you got to set like however many beats, okay, this is, 8-beat intro or whatever it is, and then you go and like.
But do you guys so this is what we've done, is add count-ins to the track. So like, when a transition's going to happen, like for Cobb, Tim will count every transition, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the next, so we know exactly where we are. We don't have to think about it.
That's what we were doing in Ghost Hook. I would just I did 12 beats. Like I would know like starts 12 beats. Actually, it would be 8, and then the last 4 would be my on the drum.
Yep.
That's just, it was easier for me to set it up like that. With Courier, we only have a couple songs that have some tempo changes, and it's like a pause. Like we have a really like sludgy part that we slow down, but we're ringing out. So I man the metronome for right now, and I'll just go spin the wheel to the lower.
So you just do it nice. Okay. That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
But, if we did something more intricate or had multiple changes, we'd probably have to program a track, because that's a lot of futzing around, especially if it's a seamless change, like no pause or anything.
So explain to me the track, like what you're going through. So you're running. It's not the music itself. Well, how does that work?
In a digital audio workstation, like in order to get a click track, and like if you have backing tracks. To play live, you want the drummer you want the click to be isolated to the drummer, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So, what you do is you bounce one down, like, is it in mono? To like, you pan hard one left.
Okay.
And then you bounce the track that's going to be front of house, pan hard right.
Okay.
And then when you bounce that down to one mono track, you have to, so that's one piece. So in order to play it back, you have to have a system set up to split those two channels.
Jesus.
Right?
Okay.
So there's a very complicated way to do that, or a very easy way, and we have a very easy way. It's a direct box that has a splitter input built into it. So you run the direct line into the DI box. So just picture a DI box, right?
Yep.
And then it also has a split. So, you know what a splitter cable is, right?
Yep.
A red and a black, right? 1/4 inch.
I think I got a couple over here.
Yeah, it goes right into that DI box, and it splits the signal right from the DI box. And you
mono either way.
Right, exactly. Right, which is all you need. You don't need to do stereo. And I don't think it works in stereo either. Anyways,
not a setup like that. I have seen setups where they'll do they'll run like Reaper or Pro Tools or whatever, and they'll run like a multi-track, multi inputs, where the click is its own track, backing tracks are their own things. They'll sometimes run that in stereo,
right? But
they'll run the click so that it's strictly going through a monitor feed,
and
that's if you have like XR18 or whatever. Like you can select like, I want just this, track 1 to go to monitor feed. You control that. The other stuff goes to both monitor feed and front of house.
Right.
So there's a couple different ways to do it. It's simpler to have it pan hard right, hard left, because it's just less.
When it's just the drummer following it. And that's with us. We have a contained unit that I use to play back the tracks.
Right.
These guys don't hear it, like I was saying. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you get it set up like that, if you're using that direct box that I use, it's super fucking simple because you just plug the player with the splitter that's plugged into the box. That's it. Otherwise, you need a mixer to run it aux back to you, and like it's a bunch of
that's how
bullshit,
yours
dude.
runs, right? You split it that way
because we're running. Well, when we're using the XR18, we just run the click track into an input.
Yep.
Okay.
And then that input is not routed through the main outs. Well, and actually, when we do it live, we're not running out of the XR18. We have a split snake.
Yep.
So the mics go into the snake, and then it splits out the back. One of them goes into the XR18. The other one goes to a snake that goes to front house.
Yep.
Wow. Yep.
But I do have it set up so if we wanted the click to come through the PA, we could, like during practice and stuff, but Eric doesn't need it, so we don't run it that way.
Right.
So we just have it strictly in a monitor feed, and then we can individually with the XR18 can control it right from
Dude,
the phone.
that's how he got me to buy an XR18 is because he started explaining this to me, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking badass. And then he's like, well, you can do this and you can do that, and he goes, oh yeah, when we're up on stage, if one of us needs something, you can download the app for it, so you can fucking control your shit right
There's
there.
been
Mixing station, is it?
So
that
stupid.
we use?
Yep.
Mixing
Yeah, because I don't like the native Behringer app.
Yeah.
Mixing stations.
And you got to get your own router too, because the built-in router.
So we don't even use one. We haven't had an issue. We just use the
Oh.
built-in. I do have one that I've been meaning to like get set up in case, like just in case we run into
Interference,
issues.
right? Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about?
But for what we've used, and like we did Skyway, we did a house show, and then all of our practices and stuff, like we've never had an issue.
Nice.
No interference at all with it.
Nothing.
And they talk about it kind of being not the strongest
Right.
signal when it comes to that.
Like if you're playing like, let's say that you're doing like a larger venue and like the IEM rig isn't necessarily close by you, like it's off stage or at front of house or
Right.
whatever, then you might want something stronger, like something like a router or whatever. But we have it set up right on stage with
Yeah.
us, so
Right.
we're right there. It's not like we're more than 20 feet away.
Sure. Yep. Sorry, guys. Sorry for
I love how nerdy this got for the last
getting in the
10
woods
minutes.
there, but you're looking at your future. I hope this is what we're gonna be doing.
It's really cool, and it makes
Lots of issues.
Bunch of nerds.
you know, like being able to control it like right on your phone or on a tablet. You know, if you're at a venue and just the sound in the room is weird, and you're like, oh, I need a little extra of this. You know, you play the first song, you're not, oh, I need more. You know, you can just walk over and just be like,
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't need shit.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a game changer. It really, once you get dialed into it and used to it, like it really just makes everything better. You know, you relax more because you can hear everything.
Why
like,
are you
you're
giggling,
not-
Fritz? Why are you giggling? You're like, shit, I know this already.
Oh, yeah, you
It's
do.
been years,
yeah.
man.
I'm talking to the, I'm preaching to the choir.
Direct
you're
eye
to
contact.
blame.
Frodo's
for
the
me
choir,
getting
and I'm
into
preaching
this.
at him.
Why is that?
The X32 at Lee's.
Oh, yeah.
That's what like got me into like this whole the wireless technology with it, because I was able to run sound from my tablet.
This one.
Oh,
That's
you were
pretty
so
badass.
Running around with your tablet.
Dude, it's awesome being able to like do a band's monitor mix while you're on stage with
Yeah.
because you can hear exactly what they're talking about. If there's some weird whatever, you're not like, oh, give me a second, I got to go up there. Like you can, like I would do monitor mixes right next to them and hear exactly like.
That's
like,
why
what's
it
good.
sounded so fucking good at Lee's, man. Seriously.
And like,
Well, you guys knew what you were doing too. That kind of helps. But
Well, dude, that
have
was
it in a
the
rack unit,
yeah.
and I got a stupid deal on one. And I was just like, this will do exactly what I want.
yeah, and that was when they were just coming out. Now they're discontinuing the X32 and they're selling them for just pennies.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah, they just did a sale when you got yours, right?
Yeah.
They did
Yeah.
brand new. They were like $350 or something, and they normally go for like $8.
Yeah.
And I got mine used for $350.
Yep.
I'm like, this is a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, now they're all new for $350. Fuck
You
that.
buy a new one?
I don't need two of them.
You never know.
But what's really sweet about them is that there's an interface built into the XR16 and the XR18. So when we do rehearsals, I just plug into my laptop,
Yep.
open Reaper, and every input is its own channel, and I can just record everything and then just do like a quick mix.
Dude, it sounds so good,
and
too.
Like
pre-pro
on the fly. It's
it's so crazy because he brought it to work, and he's like, here, this is, and this is another reason why he talked me into getting one of these fucking things, is he's like, dude, yeah, this is it from recording, and we can do this and we can do that. I'm going, oh yeah, I think I need one of those. The reason I bought one is because I realized that I have an extra space on the table. So I'm like looking at this board that I absolutely love. It's got MIDI selections on it and all this other shit, and I'm like, I really love this board. Now I can't fucking use it. So now I got to figure it out. So right away I'm going, he goes, they're on sale. It's like, they're on sale, and you can do this and you can do that. And I'm like, oh my God.
Does that shit to me too.
Yeah.
I mean, when IEMs and like, when a lot of bands that are running like Axe Effects and, everything's like in their own internal system, when they really became popular, the shit was super expensive. And it was a lot more intricate and like a lot more involved, like to get it set up and to deal with it all the time, to like do adjustments. Because back in the day, like you still had to use like a physical board to do that all. Now I don't see why, bands that are taking themselves seriously at all don't. Like, it's so easy to set it up. You can get it done in a day. It's not that expensive, especially if you have bandmates that pitch into stuff. Like, it'll improve your performance, how you sound. You'll tighten up everything. It's been a godsend.
Yeah, I can imagine. I really, it bums me out because I've always wanted to do it, and cats don't want to spend thousands of dollars on shit, but I've always thought that it's really gonna tighten everything up. And I find it really silly that when you bring up in-ear monitors, that not a lot of people are like, I've never played with a click before, never dawned on me. And then, they get stuck into it, or people will be so against it and like, it makes us sound mechanical. But you get them doing it on a regular basis, man.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that I've seen so many other drummers and folks that focus on it really excel, move forward with their playing, and focus on the tunes, I guess.
Well, like a lot of,
which is supposed to happen, right?
A lot of folks might not realize this, but any band that's really like touring and performing on any like professional level at all, they're all running a click track.
Oh yeah,
because they have, especially big productions, they have you have a very strict set time,
right?
Like, if you're not playing to a click and things are kind of fluid, like might be fluttering around, you might get done early, you might go over. This ensures that, like, majority of the time you're going to be on time, and it cues with any other like production stuff, video boards, lighting.
Yeah, especially if you use
pyro, CO2. It's all going to cue. It's all running off of the same thing. So
right.
It's just everyone's doing it,
right?
And it's so simple to do it.
Well, there's
yourself.
A lot of back end work.
Yes.
To the live show, once you have everything dialed in a whatever session you run, if it's like Cobb runs Ableton Live, so everything's dialed in one session, right? You just hit go, everything's planned out in one session, like all the changes, all the MIDI patches, but that's where all the work takes place.
But
setting it up.
Now you trigger all that to keep everything in time because you have to stay on that shit. So does everybody hear it all?
Yep.
Or is it just specific?
In Cobb, so yeah, I should say Cobb. Okay. Everybody here, like that. That's a different method that we're set up in. We run an Ableton Live session where all the songs are, in one live track, right? Everything is. Where in Plague, like I have all the tracks and I play each one individually, right? And it's self-contained to just me. Like, we don't have it set up. Yeah. We'd have to run an actual set. We can do it. We have the ability to do it. It's just takes a lot of work on the back end. Yeah. But once you get it set up for live, then that's where the streamlined effect comes to play.
Let's say, like, you guys did a small run, or you guys did, Rockfest again or whatever. Like, if you guys, okay, we have this set time, this is exactly what we want to do. You could, program it and then just boom, go. No stalls, no delays. You're just running, like, that's the show.
Yep. But in order for all of us to hear all the click and all that stuff, we need the X whatever
interface
series or whatever interface, blah blah blah. Which we don't
can split them up.
Yep, exactly. Which we've talked about many times.
Didn't run it to everyone, even if you just did a program just for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying with Cobb, you could just be like this. Even if you're the only one that hears it,
it's still streamlined. Yeah,
this is the programmer not varying from this unless something catastrophic, amp blows up or something. But this is.
Has it been a problem to go back to situations?
Oh, we've had to stop. Yeah, we've had to, it's, dude, seriously, like we've been doing this for like 2 years and we literally just finally got to set up where everybody's happy. Like, that's the thing, trial and error, like you try it out. Technology is cool, but it's
I know. I fucking know, man.
Right?
I spent a shit ton on some cameras, and I'll tell you what, man, I've been having issues, and this is another thing this fucker's always good at, because he'll look for shit when he's not even looking for shit. He's like, I've really wanted one of these, but I don't want to spend this amount of money on it. This is what I'm willing to spend my amount of money on, and then 5 years into looking for something, he'll go, I found this for fucking dirt cheap. Just the other day, I found a solution for this issue that I've been having, and I did something else on my computer. I have no lag all of a sudden, and I bought this thing because, like him, I'm looking for this thing, and I'm like, if I could find one at around this price, for about $300, I got one for $125 today. I was just like, it's too good to pass up.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's a fantastic piece of hardware, which will allow me to run 2 different streams. I can actually, shoot one to Facebook and one to YouTube at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Instead of what's that?
Can you cross the streams?
I haven't. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Dude.
Stand up. I gotta pee really bad, so let's go.
Do you? Do you gotta pee? You can.
No, I was just. Yeah.
Because somebody actually just
streams,
asked.
right?
Somebody just asked this. It's super funny because he goes, How do you guys ever pee? And I'm like, it's a challenge. Usually it's breaks in between, unless you're drinking beers. And he's like, Godspeed. And Eric McMahon.
There's actually a trough underneath the table.
You're not seeing that.
Everybody's just going, there is a sink over there, Aaron.
might as well keep the tradition alive.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
When Eric was on, he was like,
Eric said right in here in the chat, he goes, in-ears are dumb. That's hilarious. Thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate it.
Woo.
My daughter dropped in and said, "What's up, fellas?"
Yeah.
Hello.
What's up?
Reiterate on the whole IEM thing, and just it does take a little work on the back end to get it going, but it'll change everything. And like with a lot of shit these days, there are a ton of videos on YouTube and shit that they'll literally walk you through every step.
I seen when I was looking into them too, man. I seen a lot of people doing cheats, especially drummers, where they will have a mixing board themselves on a deal right here, and nobody else gets to mix, just them, so they don't even have to fuck with the monitor. They can just have their shit right there, and bam, like a workaround. They don't, they're going from a DI right into their mixer.
That's what I'm doing with Krog.
Okay.
I just have I have Rob and Wes mic'd up, but at the show I'll just do the monitor line, and I have a 2-channel board.
Right.
You've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Drumming, at least.
Yeah. Basically, I run my triggers in one channel, and then whatever guitar bass I need in the other one. I just tell them I just need even levels on that, and I can control how much with the 2 volumes on it, and that's.
And do you have a click track and backing tracks?
Not for Krog.
Not for Krog. Okay. So you just
I did for Ghost Hook, but
just for just for monitoring.
Yeah,
right,
just
purposes. Okay.
I hate having a wedge when I'm trying to play drums.
Right.
Sucks.
Dude, I know. Yeah, it's
the worst. You're like,
Unless you're at first Ave.
First Ave or Station 4 had a killer one. Any monitoring system that Joe runs.
It was in.
You don't get enough love.
Echoes when we did a show, and I could not hear a thing. Like, I have no idea where we are in the song.
That happened to us a lot back then.
I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy the shit because it sucked.
Yeah.
You're just like, I literally cannot hear the guitars over my cymbals, over my snare. Don't know where we're at in the set.
Well, and that's the thing, and not shitting on any clubs at all, because we're really lucky to have the clubs that we have, and support all of those clubs, please, everybody. But you look back at some of these venues that we played back in the day, and their fucking monitors are horrible. You know what I mean? Where you're really looking, down the line to see where everybody's at. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine as a drummer being able. You must learn like the motions of what people are doing in their feet, and like where their hands are on the headstock and shit. There's got to be cues that you guys are like, all right, I'm looking over. All right, I see their hand. You know what I mean? Because there's got to be some weird shit.
Cues. Yeah, I think we all do, actually. Right. I mean, because if you don't have an in-ear monitoring solution, and you're just relying on the wedges or whatever, there's times when you could just your sound check could go good, and then all of a sudden, like you get on stage and I can't hear anything. What
Everything
the
goes
fuck?
to hell.
Yeah.
So then you have to rely on that.
Adrenaline dump too. You know what I mean? Your ears are ringing
where
anyway.
they're at on
'cause
the
you're like,
fretboard, or if they're going in, we got a breakdown here, up
Yeah.
making the big move. Okay, I know exactly where I'm at.
yeah.
And that part is always still important, whether
Yep.
you're running in your monitors or not. Like, you still have to have that synergy because you're putting on a show and, like, you have to lock in on that level.
Well, see, and
so-
I, that's what I love about the integration of the guys in different bands, because I think about all of the cats that I've jammed with. I knew what these guys were capable of, which direction they were going to go, whether it was writing. And when you become comfortable with each other, you know what I mean? You're basically finishing each other's sentences musically, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or someone goes, no, ba, 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 no, it's supposed to be ditto, no. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it comes together and you're just like, yep, that's the one. Or we've said this a million times, where you're jamming in a place and somebody's noodling, or you're playing a beat, and then you see someone just pop their head up and go, wait, what was that? How did that go right into there? Can we put this on the middle of that, or switch this there? And you know what I mean? By just those moments where you're kind of like, and somebody's doing something, and that's it. I fucking heard it. That's the one I want to hear.
Yep.
Happens a lot to us when we're writing and we're just not feeling it, and someone like Chris will like halftime it, and I'm just like, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the feel. That's the change you're looking for.
Yep. Or it's interesting too, like in the writing phase, and this I remember you saying this specifically, with Necromus, like you had riffs that were written by telephone number.
Yeah.
Like just the creative ways that there's a language we speak as musicians, dude, where it's like we use crazy like mnemonic devices, a phone number to write a riff, a look to know when a change is coming, or
I would always play with guitar players and drummers. I keyed a lot on the rhythm section when it came to me singing at all, but there were always little things that even with Jordan, he would do certain things on the bass where I would need him to do that, to come in. If it was off a little bit, it would really throw me off.
Right.
And I was trying to catch up the rest of the tune, where drummers are coming in and they just give that little skip, you know what I mean? Like just a little, or a, you know what I mean? Just a little whip, and you're coming in there. I don't even count, you know what I mean? Especially with blast beats and death metal back then, you know what I mean? I'm not counting your fucking shit. I know when you're going,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And I know when to come in on that. That's all it was.
Yeah, just a mnemonic device.
The feel,
Yep, and we do that too, Al Town too, actually, when we were in We Are Legion together, he would help write parts for the drums. So, like, he kind of would come up with certain things like that, and that would help with our live performance and stuff. But
I agree with you, Mike.
It's crazy shit.
I agree with you, Mike. Mike says the drummer controls the beat. Absolutely, but I know for a fact that when everybody locks in, that rhythm section locks in, it allows the guitar players and vocals to fucking do whatever the fuck they want to do, because that backbeat is just so solid. When you got that, there's I mean, they're gonna do it anyway. A good rhythm guitar player. I mean, all of that locking in together is just nonstop. Yep. You can't fuck with it at all, man. It's just such a beautiful thing. I love it.
Like Stars has 2 rhythm guitar players.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
that is true.
That's that's what it takes, though. I think.
So, question for you, Lonick. How much math you doing behind the kit?
For who?
Well, so like, yes, I think you should.
Yeah, we certainly like one of our riffs is 8675309. Legitimately, I'm not even kidding.
Oh my God.
It is straight up. We wrote
Why is that not
chugs to that. Well, I don't know. Like we were kind of fucking around with it. We're like, wait, let's actually do this. Let's figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then working in between the actual riff and make the counts, the phone number. It's stupid, but it's fucking amazing.
I didn't experience it much until I joined Ghost Hook, because Lucas was just writing in just stupid, crazy times.
So when you say math, like what?
Just
I mean,
like
counting?
Yeah, just like I would have to literally count out loud to figure out like how many, because we would have a 90-second song that changed times 4 times.
Well,
just
I guess
so I'd have to just be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh yeah, if it's an odd time signature, like, and you're just like, I need to like
this
reference counting to make sure I don't fuck it up, which odd time signatures pretty common.
No one said there'd be math involved.
Right.
That's dumb.
Or counting. It's more just counting. Like,
there was a few times I would have
with
to do the
Silic
math
too,
on
right?
it.
That's got to be some wicked fucking changes in.
oh, dude,
right?
yeah. We have to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse to drill that shit in. Otherwise,
right.
Like counting, just like we still do, because a lot of it'll go from a 9 count to an 11 to a 7. So we use it. I mean, Silva does that too. There's a lot of Taylor writes in odd time signatures. He doesn't realize he's doing it, but it's like, what are you like?
Well, it's his feel, right?
He doesn't know what he's doing.
That's what I love about music is that it really truly is how you feel and how you write. And I mean, obviously, you can take songs and say, I really love this style. This is the way, and emulate it. Like I always think people shit on other people for taking a band. We were talking about this, taking a song and saying, this is the vibe that I really like. This is the feel of what I want to write as a whole. You know what I mean? Because Acid Bath has always been that marker for me. Like, this is the dirty, sludgy shit that I want to write. If we could stay in this vein, you know what I mean? Like I think it's so important and to move around. But your I guess when the beat you're making that comes just out of your hands when you're tapping, if you're not listening to a song and something comes in your head, is it the riff and then you're trying to keep time with your hands? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a vibe that you catch and you roll. I had questions for you, Neil. Now, you're one of the bass players, honestly, that I feel makes it look a lot easier than it really is, because you're playing what, five string? Six string. Okay. And you make it look fucking so simple, dude. Like, what was it like? Who are some of the bass players that you really love?
Steve Harris.
Okay, obviously that.
Claypool.
Sick.
Victor Wooten.
Yeah.
Lee.
Fucking Wooten.
Yeah.
There's Dee Dee Verney.
Right.
I've always Dee Dee Verney. Yeah. I can.
Trujillo, I think you have a little vibe there with just like how you like the way he plays is like, that's Rob Trujillo. Nobody else plays like that physically and whatnot. Like, and you have a very physical way of playing. That's like you do that. Nobody else does that. That's your like signature thing.
When he said Steve Harris, that's where I could see that in just the way he attacks it. You know what I mean? Like, it's forward. It's not leaned back on him. A lot of times you're
up on the neck.
Yeah. That's where I see, when you said that, I was like, that makes a lot of fucking sense right there, man.
Victor Wooten too. Definitely, I can see a lot of that influence in your playing.
Thank you. No, bass has just got to stand out for me, and I don't hear enough of that, especially in metal where it's pushing. Sometimes I feel like I'm overplaying, but I'm having fun. So,
what made you nerd out about bass? Like, everybody says like, well, I'm playing bass because we didn't have any bass players. I played guitar. I started playing guitar.
Such a bad rap.
I know, but there's a
run of jokes.
There's a handful of bass players that I know that are just fucking. They're phenomenal musicians, man, and
next
they're like
level
nerded out on the shit. It's not like it's like a guitar player fucking tearing it up on a bass.
Well, the first time I saw Les Claypool play was Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah,
and they're in the talent show and playing Tommy the Cat.
Yeah.
Just watching him play that 6-string fretless, and that shit makes me want to play.
Yeah.
After hearing Cliff Burton doing his thing, I just needed to be part of that.
Yeah.
The shit's just sticking out. Cliff Burton though, when I first heard that, that's when I really started to really pay attention to bass in metal. Before that, I wanted to play guitar.
Right.
But Cliff,
he really was a standout like player in showman when it came to that stuff. Like, hands down, one of the bass players that really stick out in my head as far as metal. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how long. I mean, he really didn't play with Metallica all that long, did he?
Not long enough.
4 years, 3 or 4 years. 83, I think, and 86 he died. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Well, he was in there longer than that, I think.
Or yeah, okay, so you're right. Probably 81.
If you're talking like studio releases, then yeah, it was just their first 3.
So 81 or 82. But he wasn't like Ron McGovney was before him, and he was in the band actually for a lot longer than people understand. But yeah, so 4 years, like you were saying, Greg. Yeah,
wow.
Cliff.
Yeah, it was only 4 years, 82 to 86. That's quite the impression that he made then just for 4 years. And
Oh,
that's
dude. Like,
yeah, dude, he's got his own
influence.
action figure, and everybody fucking bought them motherfuckers up like right as soon as they dropped.
I mean, he's in a fucking metal band where it's like, bullet belts and gauntlets and shit, and he was wearing bell bottoms and jean jackets, and nobody gave a fuck, and nobody said nothing.
Canadian tuxedo.
Playing a Rickenbacker, like not a BC Rich, like,
Mean sound and bass.
Yeah.
God, I love the sound of that. He played the shit out of that thing, man.
Distorted and nasty.
Yep. And that's, dude, you just have your style like that. It's like, that's just Neil Pruitt. That's what he does. Whatever band you're in, you're bringing the Neil Pruitt sound.
Yep,
and that's
for sure.
what, like, nobody does that in this scene. So
gotta play aggressive.
Now with Plague now, this is a band that you guys all have, like, you wear outfits and stuff like that. It's like a thing that you guys have as far as your deal. It's your deal.
We wear costumes.
Yeah, we
Our
dress
uniform.
up.
Yeah.
That's right.
We play dress up. We're all pretty princesses.
But I mean, that adds the effect to the epicness of the band. You know what I mean? I think I've always appreciated that when people go the extra mile to not wear just the regular street clothes every fucking show. You know what I mean? I dig it that people put a little something on and fucking get that earthy feel to it, man.
Right. I think when I first joined, it was like just wear a black T-shirt.
Yeah, right.
Well, then I started wearing some vest.
Yep.
And then Neil started also wearing some vest, and then Will's like, I guess I'll wear a vest too if you guys are wearing vests.
Need to invest in.
It just kind of evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, we. I think we've always wanted to have an image, but like we're all too like kind of anti it. And this was before you guys joined, and I think Tim, our bassist at the time, was he took the Mel was kind of at that point she was taking it on her own to like kind of get visually appealing,
The makeup conversation.
Yeah, or the makeup, but she was always, wardrobe. We were all jeans and t-shirt kind of, and we're like, fuck that, like we don't. So Tim took the plunge, did the makeup, and we're all just like, fuck it, let's go for it. It all kind of slowly evolved.
Mel's started doing it, and then the conversation came up that Tim wanted to start doing it too.
Yeah, right.
You were super excited about doing it too, and me and Will are like, fuck.
I mean, I was excited about it, but I wasn't.
So
I wanted somebody else to take the plunge first.
Two of us didn't really care or want to. It's like, well, 3 of them want to do it. We got to do it.
You're right. Yeah, that's more accurate. More accurate. Yes.
Love it.
No more.
He downplayed how excited he was about it.
Oh, I didn't.
You were pretty stoked.
Well, I guess I was. Sure.
You're just.
I mean, I did Black Umbrella Call. We did fucking. I've been doing it forever. Like my dad. Like I watched him growing up. They wore guy liner and shit. He dressed up in Zubas and shit or spandex. Like
he was comfortable in those Zubas.
Yeah, spandex. It was pre-Zubas. The spandex shit. I'll show you pictures of my dad. You're like, what the fuck? Like, and then he came full circle. Back in his last band before he retired. I don't know why he did that, but because he's still amazing. But
what did he play? Did he play drums too?
He knew how to play drums, but he was a guitarist and lead vocalist. Lead vocal is his like when Bill Lonix sings, it's like holy shit.
Nice.
Everybody watches.
Nice.
Like, he just has that swagger about him. But yeah, he came full circle back into his last band, which was called Hair Metal Radio. They dressed up. They did kind of the what's the hairball thing where they'd get dressed up and have character names and shit. And Are
we starting a controversy right here? Did they steal their idea? Let's go.
I think there's a lot of bands that kind of do that nowadays. They do the whole dress up thing and mimic whatever era they're in.
Yeah, whatever band they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been in the chat, like shooting the shit. You guys haven't got to see it, but there's a lot of folks in here just jabbering away. we're talking. Oh, Brian Anderson had said he loves how this was going into the weeds about the sound and the in-ear stuff. You have to find stuff like that because I find it super, super interesting, and I love when people who know about it and have used it give you more information. It's how I ended up buying the shit that fucking Jordan talked me into.
Right.
But I absolutely love it. It's helped me so much, and if you don't share those secrets with other people, it can be daunting.
Yeah, it can seem like a really like God, that seems like a lot of work, a lot of investment.
Right.
Like I don't know the first thing about sound or anything like that, but like it's not as difficult as you may think it is. And like I said, there's videos and YouTube that it's literally step by step.
Right.
Like they'll walk you through how to do it. It's pretty intuitive, and it's just I don't know why I didn't do it sooner.
Yeah. Well, when you are getting into something too, and I know I've just found this out working on those Raspberry Pi, the little computer boards, it's so crazy to try, and it makes me want to make videos and show them how stupid I am, and like, hey, dude, you can figure this out because I'm a dumbass and I figured it out. That type of shit. Where going through the XR18, you know what I mean? Like going through all of the videos of that shit. I was like, all right, this dude tells me to do this. And I started at the very basic, like, okay, here's your PA. You plug this into it. You find the line. There's your fucking volume. Okay, you can turn this up here or you can turn it up there. Like, that's how I started. And then I'm like, how can I integrate it into the computer? And I even had Jordan come up here during the Sammy guitar thing over here. He was sick as shit. He comes up here. He's like, click, 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 click. We fucked it all up. And then I was like, he left the room. I shut it all down and started all over. And all of a sudden it all worked. I went down the stairs and went, I figured it out. Well, what'd you do? Well, that's where I was going next is what he said. Like, I stumbled on it, but it always trips me out when you get into a new hobby or something that you're really looking into. It's so daunting. Like conversations like this would make me go, all right, I know those dudes that Aaron that played in Plague Stars and Jordan from and Aaron, like these guys, I can go to them and go, hey dude, so I did this, I got this. Like I could imagine that being a conversation at a show. Hey dude, I saw you on the podcast, let me ask you about this, let me pick your brain about, oh yeah, you just have to do this, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like those little things. Whenever I find a project that I'm doing and I break through on something, I'm like, I watched 12 videos. I didn't see how they broke through the way I broke through. And it makes me want to just go, maybe you want to try it this way. You know what I mean? Like I went back and forth with like 5 different videos on that XR18. And then finally something made sense. You know what I mean? You get stuck and you're like, all right, erase it, start all over, and then you click, 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 boom, and then it's done.
Yeah, that's learning. Learning is weird, especially when you're doing active learning, like on the fly. It's you can't like absorb it right away.
Yeah.
But you think you have the idea, and then like it catches. It's so weird because, and I've talked to Jordan about a lot of things, technical, like sound wise and stuff. So I've learned a lot from you and stuff. But you gotta fucking just jump in and do it. Watch and learn from other people. And the big thing for me, man, is like, I know what I want to do, but I can't fucking afford it ever. Like, I know I want to start this podcast. Like, I did a live stream for us last weekend, or at least I attempted to, using OBS, and like I had to learn it like in 2 days.
Yeah.
Right, to try to integrate with Facebook Live.
Sure.
And I figured out the majority of it, but like there's a couple of things I didn't take into consideration, like the bandwidth, right, to make sure nothing's
laggy and fucked
it was
up.
lagging as fuck, I think, was one of the issues. There was audio issues and stuff, so like it was a learning experience.
I can help you.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's why I got some feedback from you. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, good. Thank you, Greg, for filling me in. Jared's been helping me out too and stuff. And
dude, he's got a lot of resources, man. I mean, the dude figured out a lot of things that I had no clue of. Like, I had taken a break because we were doing just the audio stuff. Like we did a few videos in the place in Spring Lake Park, and I really enjoyed it, but I couldn't get the thing to work properly.
Right,
it was glitchy. It was fucked up. It had weird angles. Like the cameras I was using weren't getting what I wanted visually. So it was just working uphill the whole fucking time, So I gave up on it. When I came back, and Jared was one of the guys that kind of pushed me towards it. When I went to do his shit, like his first setup was janky as shit.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked, and he moved forward. He advanced every time that we had talked. Then all of a sudden he had all the shit going that I didn't have going. And when I went back to YouTube, I was like, where did I get all these followers? What the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? So then I had to try to learn it, and he pushed a lot of knowledge my way.
Sure.
You know, figuring shit out. But it is, you know, it's so tough to get in there and go, hey, and you don't take into account for, well, what is your computer capable of?
Right.
What
that's
is,
the other
you know,
piece. Yeah, the resources on my computer just aren't enough to,
because
like,
if you
make
look
it a
up,
quality.
that's the thing, is if you look it up, there's so many settings where they're just like, hey, if you have a lower end PC, this is what you can do. And then you do it. Like we had one show where I came in, I started up, and all my settings were fucking wonky. So when we ran it, it was the Eric Kai's podcast, the last one we did. And they had so much great information, but my shit was glitching so bad, and I had no idea. When they left, an hour after they left, everything was working fine because it was just 2 settings that I had to switch.
Sure.
And I have no idea. It could have been an update. There was something that threw it off, and that's really key with running OBS, you know, because they've changed so many things and they fix bugs all the time.
Right.
Open broadcasting, so they're constantly doing. It's with every app nowadays, man. You know. You're going in and they're updating this and that, and
Technology, it's one of those things that you just gotta flex with, you know.
Yeah.
That's.
I work with a guy who was he you know, I was telling him I was talking about this movie server thing that I was doing, right, and I was explaining it to him, and he just looks at me, he goes, I was this many years old when I learned how to use email, and I'm like, really? And he's going, he's like,
mail.
How do I know how to get into? I'm trying to get Apple TV on my phone, and I'm like, dude, it's simple. Go in here and download and, you know, whatever. And I'm explaining it to him. He's like, I have no idea how to do any of that. And at my age, I'm going, holy fuck, I learned that when I was like 20 something. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to like show him, you know, and like every step that I would get further into that server, I would pop it up and go, look I built my own fucking Netflix. You know, Jordan gave me like a couple hundred movies. You know, I had I think I have over 700 movies on my fucking movies thing right now.
And now you're on an FBI list.
That's okay. they were all paid for. Why can't we share? Is that not?
They're gonna smash through the windows.
I was gonna say, was that what the cherries are outside?
Right.
Whoop, whoop.
Tear
We've been
Yep.
busted.
Someone says potato.
Speaking
potato.
of,
That's what I heard.
That's your guy, isn't he?
That's my ninja.
Say it to Neil. He said, I dare you
What's
to
up,
say
baby?
potato.
speaking of gathering content,
Yeah.
Did you hear this? Just reminded me of this. So Facebook, to train its AI, pirated thousands of like movies and books, thousands, to like it's to like
Something like
run
80
through.
terabytes worth.
Yeah, to like run through its AI so it could learn.
Right.
And everyone's just like, cool, that's illegal. People have been prosecuted for that. And
For
Facebook,
far less.
And Facebook is just like, yeah, we did, 80 terabytes worth. And it's like, what the fuck? No, nothing's going to like, well, we didn't seed them, so it's technically not illegal. Like,
So they weren't sharing them, basically, is what it is, right?
Right.
essentially,
Yeah.
but like, when there was a bunch of people actually prosecuted for pirating and stuff, they tried doing that same argument, and the courts were just like, nope.
Woo!
We have a song about that.
But Facebook can
What's it
go
called?
in and
Corporatocracy.
do whatever the fuck it wants because they have money. And I don't know. It just reminded me because I just read
That's
about it.
crazy. But unfortunately, that's how generative AI learns, is from sources of information that it can, take from and, glean, I guess. And
I
then
feel like Meta can afford to pay for that stuff.
Oh, it can.
that's the
Of
thing.
course.
They
Well, yeah,
have to-
okay. Obviously, that's the point. That's the crux of the point.
Yeah,
and I
make the-
fully agree with it. It's bullshit. Like what Musk is doing right now, who's trying to run our country, not an elected official. Like, money talks and everything else.
I think
walks.
he could have dropped the word trying out of that sentence.
Right. Yes. Not even trying. Yeah. It's just happening. So
Things are
Google, they're a superpower. They can just,
it's
just how it is. I don't know.
but it's just how brazen they were about just like, yeah, we did this. We stole 80 terabytes of.
What are you
Dude,
going to
80,
do about it?
80,
Yeah,
80
right.
terabytes, it blows my mind because I have like 6 and I'm like, holy fuck, it's not enough. But I'm like, Jesus, that's that's a shit ton of, I have thousands of songs. Dude, I think I have 4 different people's fucking collection in my collection right now. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. One day at work, I deleted 56,000 songs. Because I realized that I had doubles, and I'm going, how the fuck did I get this? I must have like transferred a bunch of shit and didn't even realize it. I'm going through it. I'm going, okay, well, I'll delete that. Do you really want to delete 56? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, holy shit. Yes.
I think so.
Press the button.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't have petabyte drives now with like how much people have converted everything to digital files, you know.
I'm sure they do, in like government agencies and stuff. It's
sure
not available to the
commercially.
I'm sure,
It's
solid.
an unfortunate name for it, though.
Petabytes, yeah. PEDA.
You got to be on a list
or
just to
very-
hold one and shit.
Or very on point.
Right.
Right?
point.
Oh, God. Damn it.
But I mean, like solid state drives and like terabyte storage space like was available to government and like agencies and stuff.
Now they got
before.
quantum computing, so once that takes... dude, quantum computing is going to fucking change the universe. Like, what it can do in 15 minutes would take all of the supercomputers currently in existence thousands of years to solve something one quantum computer can solve in 15 minutes.
They're gonna power it up and it's just gonna rip a hole through.
Oh,
the space.
yep, that's one of the
Sounds like
theories.
An improvement.
Some weasel's gonna come in and chew on
Oh
the
my
cords.
god, that fucking weasel. The
That
fucking
squirrel.
CERN weasel, that piece of shit.
Dude, you know what's fucking
What?
crazy? What's crazy is he brought
missed
this
that.
up the other podcast, and I kid you not, it must have caught it on my phone because that shit has popped up so much in my feed in the last, like, what is it, 2 weeks? Something like that? Like,
We've been talking about
CERN,
2012,
the
fucking weasel.
what is it, 2016?
particle accelerator. They were running an experiment, and a weasel got in and chewed through some wires and
You
shut
gotta
it
be
down
shitting me.
mid-experiment.
How did...
And got thrown into a different fucking
and
timeline because of a
yeah,
fucking weasel.
that's
All right. That's what
the
it was.
theory is that
Holy
the weasel
shit.
shut down like mid-experiment,
Right.
shifted us, and that's right around the time that like,
Idiocracy happened.
everything started getting
That
real
is- that
fucking
is-
weird.
That's true.
It was right around then.
Somebody
like,
was watching
Harambe
Idiocracy
died.
in the
The
building.
orange
Yeah,
man got
in the
in the White
building, and it
House.
like entangled
Field period.
quantumly, like and
Look it
you
up.
know.
There's apparently there's a museum that has the stuffed
You
corpse
sent me a
of the
picture
weasel.
the other day.
Oh my
What the
god!
fuck,
Yeah,
dude?
look at that. Like I truly think like that must have been like what happened. This
Fucking
shit's just
weasel.
been real fucking weird the
Yeah.
last 6-8 years.
So the weasel's dead in our timeline, but in the other alternate universe, he's fucking thriving,
Yeah,
kicking
yeah.
ass and taking
He's the
names.
president.
Dude,
he
this
shut it
shit
down,
is
and
fucking-
reality just shifted just that
Yeah.
much that everything
Ricky
got
Tikki
little
Tavi and
fucking
shit.
weird.
Just a rainbow coat on that motherfucker. Weaseling it out, dude. That's crazy, dude.
The fucking
Fucking
service.
15.
Quantum weasel.
We've been
Fifth
talking
Tan,
about
and
that
that
for
was the other.
Years
Yeah.
That was the current
since
one.
it basically happened. Like, did you see this
He
shit?
got the almanac.
Explains so
Fucking
much.
weasel. Yeah.
He
We'll
won.
talk about that
Sanity.
weasel every
Alternate
couple of months.
1985.
Here comes a goddamn weasel every
Some
time.
weird shit.
Or
will
what's her name
pop
as
up and be like a
fucking-
weasel.
The fucking
You
weasel.
wanted these things. You can have them.
I didn't know if they
Leah
had it on
Thompson,
display,
dude.
though.
Oh shit.
I was like, that's awesome. I need to go to that museum.
So what are you guys playing on or playing through? What is your gear at this moment? What is your armament of choice? You can go
Want me
around
to
the
start?
table on that.
Well,
Well,
I don't know. I have for my pedal board. Well, let's start with the amp. I just have a little EVH 212 and then the EVH 50 watt head, which I only use for the power amp because I use a quad cortex, which I then just run into the return of the effects loop of the amp head, so I don't actually use the amp head for amp head purposes. It's pretty great.
So just for looks.
No, it like powers my shit
Yeah.
app, but it doesn't color my sound really.
Okay.
So I cheat the system because I just don't like pedal dancing. Like that's why I moved away from like regular pedal boards into the digital realm because I got sick of pedal dancing.
Yeah.
So I just hit one thing and it switches everything. Like I have all my preset. I run it as like, what the hell are they called? Scenes? Yeah. So I just have one preset, and within that preset, I have 4 different scenes for like distortion, lead, clean, and clean lead, and I just run that.
So basically, like the X32 or whatever, he could just fucking blink it and go right to the sets it all
One
up.
button. It's great.
It's dope.
And then I don't know.
Yeah, that quad Cortex things are pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty.
Because you can do like if he's running specific effects for one song, like if there's a riff that he needs delay, he has a scene set for that song.
Right. That's pretty wicked.
Like boop, done.
And your EVH head is only powering that. Is that what you said before?
Yeah, I'm running it through like the back of the effects loop.
Oh, gotcha.
It's great.
Fancy.
It looks authentic, but it's digital.
Well,
It looks
I
analog.
I don't have a cable plugged into the front of the amp,
Yeah.
so it's just an open hole. So like if somebody's like, "What the hell?
He's
cheating.
cheating.
Not even playing. He's on tracks. What a piece of shit."
What fiddle are you playing on the regs?
Well, we do 2 tunings. My guitar in B is my ESP E2 Viper baritone.
Nice.
And currently my C standard guitar is my Ibanez Prestige.
Nice. There you go.
I also have the 7-string version of it because I liked it so much.
Nice.
And I wanted to buy both before they stopped making them.
So Rob Carlson says, what kind of tubes are in the quad?
All of them.
He said, so like a line 6?
Mr. Kemper himself.
Right.
What does he?
kind of tubes are in them, Rob?
Wait, does he even use that anymore? Is he using that in Krog?
He was using it for Krog, but he switched to his Engels, and he's doing an ABY switch now for Krog.
Oh, shit. Is it sexy sounded?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's an angle guy.
He just couldn't handle Ross giving him shit about the...
Ross got to him finally?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Kemper, he's like, nope.
I made a very nice meme about the Kemper fire, and he was teaching him. He was a little kid with the guitar. That's fucking great. Rob, that was a good one. That was a real good one.
I do love angle heads.
Yeah.
to his
Oh,
point.
dude.
Like,
Yeah, angle's sick.
I just am sick of carrying around heavy gear. So 100-watt amp heads are not my forte anymore.
Right. So you just want what's quick and easy.
Yep.
You dirty whore. What is it? Ross, who never heard of her? He said him, but I said her, just because it made it funnier. How about you, Neil? What are you jamming through these days? What do you got?
Spectre basses through
Whoop, whoop.
Dark Glass, EQ, and Mesa Boogie bass amp.
What size speakers you got in your jam up?
210s.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like 600-700 watts though. I overplay everybody in the band.
It's true.
It's kind of tough.
Oh yeah.
Untrue. He just plays heavy. Like it's, the amp's at 1 and it's just Neil playing. So
I gotta dial it back.
Yeah.
Lift it in.
Is
it's $2 loud.
Is baritone the way to go, Frodo?
I think
that's
so.
what someone just asked.
That's
I
a
mean,
legit baritone guitar though? For real?
Viper is, yeah.
Oh,
27-inch scale.
Wow. Okay.
Love that guitar.
Big guitar.
I never thought I would notice the difference, but at the time I got it, like my main guitar in drop B was a Gibson SG.
Yeah.
Which is a 24.75-inch scale. So then going from that to my baritone Viper is very noticeable.
Yeah.
And then at that time, I was then using that SG as my C standard guitar. So when we'd play a show and we'd switch out guitars, it would go from playing the ESP to playing the Gibson. It felt like the Gibson was just a toy. It's so
that's how I feel anytime I pick up a guitar.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say it's the same thing. Like whenever I
Fisher Price,
pick a
bitch.
guitar, because your Spectres are 35-inch, right?
Yeah.
And going from 35 to a 25-inch scale is just like the strings are so tiny.
Yeah. The ukulele and
The
shit.
neck, I can.
What about you, Aaron? What are you rocking?
For Plague Live, I'm currently using I just got this year actually, helping my buddy Jaime Gonzalez from Devil Inside
Nice.
Yeah.
move. He's also a drummer and a guitarist and stuff. So I bought his Mapex Saturn Studio Ease kit. It's a walnut and maple mix wood. So it's like, it's just below a professional grade kit. It basically is, but, you know, when it comes to levels, like, you know, like there's the Pearl Masters, which those are professional, but the studio sessions.
I mean, I've heard people play Pearl Masters and it sounds like shit. So
for sure.
Really, I mean,
I'm talking about the build and like what's included on the hardware.
Like the quality and stuff is obviously good, but I mean the Saturn series is excellent.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I played my old kit that's at home is a old '90s Saturn.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't realize they made them that. I thought that was a newer line.
Well, it's a very, I think it was like a 99. I can't get like exact specs on it, but it's like the first run of the Saturn series.
I remember the Mapex Mars was big back in the day. It was like their intermediate level with the blue and white fades or the fades, whatever.
And what when it comes to levels in a drum kit, well, how does that play out? Like, what are they? Is it just what they're created with? Like
so not only the wood selection, but the plies, how thick or thin the plies are, how they're staved together. Like you could have a solid stave, which is just there's no when they come together. Dear Lord. Joints. Yeah, there's no joints. It's one solid shell. You can do that, or you can, the way you joint a drum head together, there's like cross laminating. There's just different techniques, right, which give it a better quality at certain levels.
And does change the sound, varies the sound quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, especially if like the different types of tone woods that you use. I mean, there's different, some will sound brighter, some will sound a lot more, like a lot deeper.
Sure.
I know when I saw High on Fire years ago, their drummer, like I just read that like that tour he had like an all walnut kit. And I was just like, Jesus, it just sounded crushing, so deep and just booming. And then, but you know, you get maple or birch. You know, birch will be a more like a brighter, more open sound,
right?
You know, quick attack.
And that's resonant. Because of the density of the wood too, right?
Exactly.
That's depending on what the wood is.
Maples are hardwoods. Walnuts are hardwood.
Guitars and stuff too. You know, if you get like, you know, an all maple guitar versus, you know, poplar or whatever, you know, it's gonna alter the sound.
Like drastically?
Depends. Acoustic guitar is definitely a lot more noticeable, but if you're doing something with like a lot of overdrive or gain, like that, you're not going to hear the tone wood as much through the different gain stages,
right?
Because there's so much of an effect on it. But you can, like, there's like I have a few basses that are some that are all maple. I guess
heavy as fuck too.
Heavy as fuck, and it's more of the feel in the instrument. Like my maple ones are definitely, there's a lot more sustain.
Yeah.
Versus some of my other ones where there's still some sustain, but it doesn't the whole thing's not just like vibrating.
Right. That's pretty wicked. Crazy how that happens. Now I was always curious, like I've seen a lot of drummers that don't know fuck all about tuning their drums. Like there's a lot of drummers out there where I'm like, I don't understand it, where you know, you doing the sound and like you being a drummer for a long time, like that's got to be one of those things where, I mean, I know cats who play an instrument and like they forget how to set their shit up. You know what I mean? Like, how did that go in that last album? Was that 8 or was that 4? Like, you know, now I've seen you, you know, working for Chad and having everything dialed in and a map out for him and where it needed to be and all of that shit. Like, how does that go when it comes to? Do you guys offer like, hey man, let me help you tune that fucker?
I have, especially mixing. Like if it's just like, you can tell that someone's like if their toms aren't tuned, or if it's just, you know, there's not a lot you can do if you got shitty dead heads. Like I've seen bands that I'm like, oh, these are the factory heads on this 20-year-old
one guy, saran wrap.
Or I've also seen drummers where they'll beat their drum heads up and then they'll spray paint them. Like, oh, it looks good as new, and I'm just like,
jeez, wow,
it's gonna sound dead
crazy.
As fuck.
That's not how that works.
But you know, like if it, you know, in a live setting, if I wanted to, you know, put a little effort into the night, and I would help them, you know, like, oh, let's just tune this up real quick. Or I have seen and done this where you cut a porthole in someone's kick drum because they won't have one.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, I learned that from Anthony Columbus.
Yeah.
I saw him walk up one day and just like, not gonna work. Sorry, not gonna work. I just cut a hole in it, and I'm just like, we can do that. But it makes, especially in like metal and rock, that makes all the difference.
Right.
You're not doing triggers, and you're actually supposed to mic it.
Right.
If you don't have a porthole in there, you're not getting any of that attack. It's gonna just be muffled as fuck.
That would be fucking horrible as a sound guy. Like, fuck am I supposed to do with this shit? You know,
That would be funny to see though.
Yeah. Especially if you have like an internal kick mic, like I use.
Yeah, the
like,
flat
yeah,
ones.
I'm like, well, this is gonna sound like shit.
Right. Just fucking tape it to the side. Sounds like a cat vomiting in the middle of the night.
What symbols are you running?
What symbols are you running?
Sabian's currently looking at possibly branching out, doing the Sentent thing, like Dan and Braden and Brett. They're kind of repping right now. They just turned my buddy Zach on to Sentent, so yeah, they're B20 cymbals, so they're good alloy, and they're cheap as fuck, and you can get them customized to whatever size, gram, weight. You can, if you have like your own like signature logo, they will imprint them right on the fucking cymbal for you, dude. It's sick.
That's so cute.
So you can look like it's your symbol, like this is your line, and
that's one of the worst things for drummers, cracking a nice crash or like a China or something. Like, cool, there's $400 that I don't have right now.
Yeah, I rarely, if ever, buy cymbals brand new because, like, I have a guy up in Andover, Dan. I don't know if you from Craigslist days.
Yep. I've bought some stuff from him.
Yeah, like he sells shit for like a Sabian AAX or something.
Pretty sure half the hardware I have on my kit is from him.
Yeah, he just sells shit at just ridiculous deals, right?
That's awesome.
So
you just gotta go buy shit from Guitar Center and get that pro coverage.
Yeah, pro coverage. Yeah,
crack it every single show and go swap it for a new one.
Well, that's a Sabian thing too.
And I went to fucking town in that China symbol.
Yeah.
I had a China that I just warranty was coming up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't liking the sound of it anymore. I'm just like, not really. It was Oriental China.
Yeah. You just wanted something new.
Yeah, I wanted something new. Jesus Christ, we were hitting it with like cymbal stands and shit. And it wouldn't crack.
We're fucking.
Wouldn't
It
crack
was a
or
sturdy motherfucker.
We're just like,
hey, is there what do they call that? What do they call that? The fucking time that lapses between crimes. What's that called? Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we somewhere in there?
This was years ago.
All right, okay. This one
finally dented
caught
enough. I think Will might have still been working at GC too. So
oh shit! Now you're getting everybody in trouble. Holy snitching on everybody, dude.
Giving us that side eye.
The bus we go.
I'm gonna let someone else help you out on this one.
Oh
it
my
expires tomorrow.
That's
and this is the 5th time.
It has a dent in it.
On.
Yes, I'll take a gift card.
That's hilarious, dude. You guys are
my
terrible.
Warranties are up on mine. Because I went so long without playing, so now like every time I jam, I'm like, oh, is this still good?
Yeah,
I can't afford another.
That's hilarious. All right, boys, we got one more song. We got "Gods of Old" is the last one here. Did you write this one, Frodo?
I wrote this one for Will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Coffin Rights broke up, and I wrote Will a death metal song.
What?
Yep.
And then what happened?
And then we learned how to play it, and then we play it.
Nice. Very good. Very good. Very good. And you can get this. Guys can get people can get your album tomorrow, which we're gonna pull this up again here tomorrow at Zhora Darling, February 22nd at 6 p.m. Correct? You guys are the doors open. The Culture of Beastface, and what was the last one?
Collapsia.
I can't read it. It's too small on this particular thing. That's why I'm asking
some glasses.
you. I need some. I actually have some right over there, but I don't want to get her. No, I feel like an old man. Thanks a lot. Jerk. All right, and then you have one in March, and I believe that was March 8th, correct?
Saturday, March 8th.
At Zimmergy.
Zimmer.
In Menomina.
Let's go.
All right, man. Well, fucking, you guys wanna say anything else? You wanna tell people what they can do with themselves or anything? No.
They can get their asses down to Zhora Darling tomorrow night. It's going to be a big one. My old man's rolling up for it, too.
Is he going to sing with you?
I hope so. Yeah, he's really enjoying the new album, actually. I showed him a couple tracks.
Vocals.
Yeah, get up there, Billy. Let's do it.
Rock it out. Yeah, man.
Big Boppa Bill.
Let's do this.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got one more song. And Gods of Old, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us. Like and subscribe. Make sure you go and like The Plague of Stars, all their socials. Get them on, Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, anywhere else. And all the streaming services.
Yeah.
All of them.
Learn all these songs
MySpace.
by tonight, and then go to the show tomorrow and rock out with them. Buy lots of merch. Buy a physical copy of this. You guys will have physical copies of this.
Yes.
You got little download cards and stuff, too? You got your merch in order, is what I'm asking?
Liz has download cards.
Really?
I think she
Oh,
did
wow.
some.
Okay.
I know she brought them with her on 70,000 tons or whatever.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
70 million tons.
70
However many tons.
7
it is.
ounces
lots
of
Petabyte tons. Is that what it is?
Thank you, Greg and Jordan, for having us. You guys are
thanks,
awesome.
man.
Thanks for
So
doing
cool,
this shit.
man.
It's awesome.
Every fucking time, anytime, whenever you guys got stuff going on, make sure we get copies of it or whatever, and we'll throw it around and play some stuff. We'll have you guys come in and talk more schnat. You know,
Jordan's still a bitch, though. I just want that to go on record.
that was unacceptable. Jordan, I was figuring you would bring a bottle of Ruppelmans just to torture him tonight.
Or
I have Malort in the next room.
I'm not.
Ruppelort.
Rumpelorts.
I don't want formaldehyde.
All right. Gods of
minty bug
Old.
spray.
Tomorrow at Zhora Darling, 6 p.m. You guys go to their CD release party. Get one of these Bad Mama Jammas, some Extinction. We're going to listen to some Gods of Old. You guys have a good night. Thank you again for joining us. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Bye.
Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness.